All right, here we are.
Hello, everyone. How are you? We're just waiting for our first guest to come in. Welcome to Chatbox with Sam. It's been a tremendous season one, and we're thankful and honored for every guest that came on Chatbox with Sam. So, um, it's been an amazing experience, actually. Bonnie and I thought, what are we going to do? There was a pandemic going on, and what better thing to do is a web series. We're all stuck at home anyway, right? At that time. So, right, Bonnie?
Yeah, exactly. And we thought it would be so cool to do something that everybody could enjoy. So
Yeah, we had
we're trying to
previous.
be interactive and stuff, the premieres and all, and a live stream.
Yeah, we had previous experience with live streams, as a few of you that are in the chat know. And hello to all of you. So, yeah, so we really actually enjoyed going on live streams with Husky. Husky's not doing too well at the moment, but I want to thank Husky and Bonnie because without them both, Chatbox with Sam would not be here today. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of background work, computer issues, editing, scheduling. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. And I want to say a huge thank you to Husky and Bonnie. Bonnie is my producer, and she's a very good one. And when there's any technical issues, Bonnie is there and she helps. So, well, actually, she sorts it out. So, thank you all for being here. I can't see the chat right now for obvious reasons, but the
Well,
guests that
everybody,
have
I
come
can see
on.
it. I can see the chat, and it's everybody's very excited. And Jamie's here too, by the way. Hi, Jamie. And
Hi, Jamie, my son. Hello, Jamie.
there's
Text your sister.
Jackie, Lil Sam, KZ. I saw him in there, and we've got more people coming in. They're all talking to each other and saying hi to us.
Okay.
Rachel's there. Yeah.
Hello, Rachel. Cooper. So, yeah, I did send a text to my family, so maybe Jamie can back that up. But and Jamie and my children are about to be very patient with me when I'm interviewing on my um, chat box with Sam for season one. We do have season two coming up, but this is about season one. Um, all the guests that come on, we were trying to find the questions that I asked everyone going on, trying to find the familiarities with people, how we're so similar and yet uniquely different. And as human beings, we all go through grief, love, sadness, happiness. We all go through a hard time in life and we all go through good times in life. And it does not matter about your background or how much money is in your wallet or how much isn't. I mean, that does make a difference with people, of course, but what makes a difference is that we all have similar feelings and emotions, especially with grief. No amount of background is going to prepare us for what we feel in them times and happy times, and how we can identify with each other and accepting each other's differences, whether they're political or just decisions and opinions, you know, and hoping that we promote kindness not by giving an opinion without being judgmental of another opinion. So I was hoping with my questions, like with the younger generation, they are our future. That's my first question that I brought up. You know, if you were to encourage the younger generation, what would be your main focus? And many people say the same sort of things, just in a different way, because they are our future. A lot of us have children, and even those that don't, it resonates with them. So it's a very important question, and I hope to bring in a younger audience too. Um, so, and they can tell us their views on what they think on the world, on the pandemic, on the political, politics that's going on, and then COVID, and how they're feeling in this world, and climate change, and how they want to improve the world, for, not just for them, but for their generations also. So the planet's still here around. in hundreds of years' time, you know, for our species to survive on. So, but many people have been very kind. I feel very honored that people have took their time and appeared on Chatbox with Sam. And I'm very grateful to every single one of my guests with their answers and their time. And they've all been really nice people. So huge thank you to my guests. Huge thank you to the spectators and viewers, because without you, you know, there'd be no likes on the channel and subscribing on the channel. So I'm very, very, very grateful to you all. So Bonnie, would you like to share anything?
Sure. I'm also very grateful to you, Sam, and to Husky. All those nice things you just said about me wouldn't be possible at all without Husky teaching me everything he could possibly cram into the time that we've had. And it's been really amazing for me just as a person. I've learned so many things, and I'm so excited how it's all turned out. I still think about in the beginning when we were talking about how to even have a show and figured everything out, and like the stuff that happened between us, Sam, which hopefully will probably eventually release to people to see some of our test stuff that got so ridiculous. Our goof reels, I guess. But
Yes.
I mean, it's just been, I feel like it's been a year or something, and it's only been a couple of months tops. And that's just so weird. And it's been really awesome to watch everybody watch too, you know, having the chats and the premieres and getting to know all the people that have come on the show, and everything we've experienced has been really awesome. And I think it turned out so much better than anyone could have ever expected,
Imagine,
for sure. And I'm really excited about what's coming for season 2 also. But it's just been really cool, and I'm glad that people have liked it, and we've been able to put some nice things out there, you know, to cheer people up and make people laugh and introduce some new people out there, and it's been really cool. So I love it. But also, I just want to point to that announcement that we talked about too, if you want to do that while we're on here. The one that I texted you earlier.
Actually, I'm thinking about the gag reel. This is live, so I
I
can't
know.
even say
I
what are you
know.
talking about.
I think about it all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what you're referring to. Sorry, on my mind. I've done an interview today. Season 2 is now finished with their interviews, but yeah, we do actually have a gag reel, and Husky's on the gag reel, Bonnie and I, and I'm Irish, and sometimes, you know, it's like, and I'm more technologically challenged than they are. They know their stuff, and I've been learning it, and sometimes it's been, what do I do? I don't get it. And then Bonnie and I have had this gag reel going, and with Husky, and when we look back, we'll have to put a couple of them out, because I'm like,
Yeah, we really should.
bloody hell, Bonnie. And it's all been recorded.
That's the
And I was
quiet
like,
version of
whoops.
some of our meetings. Oh, great. All right. Well, time out, everybody. So right now, I'm just trying to figure out where Sam went. So let me see if I can figure that out. fun. Of course, this would happen. And now I get to talk and also do some kind of tech miracle. I'm not really sure what happened, but she seems to be gone. So I'm also watching out for the first guest, Marco St. John, and he should be coming soon. In the meantime, let me see if I can get her back in. So you guys just talk amongst yourselves while I everything under control. But I do. It's fine. She does. She's getting oh, it looks like she froze and now her camera is not working. Actually, it looks like her whole entire computer froze. Hi, Lil Sam. So we're going to try to get her back in.
And trust the guest to be, not the host, to be the one that has
Yay.
internet issues. I do apologize, everyone. Yay! Well, that was our first internet issue, but we've had lots today, actually. I think it's to do with Mercury going into retrograde, or blame the equinox or something coming up. We like to do that. So is it working again? Can you see
It's
me?
working.
Yes, it's working.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. So now I don't know how much of I was talking and I disappeared, but
Yeah.
do apologize for that. Anyway, I was talking about bringing our first guest in, and the guests that have come on chat box with Sam. Sorry. So,
well, the first guest I did say is Marco St. John while we were getting you back in, and he is ready when you are.
Marco St. John is an amazing actor. He was in sorry, I'm just Thelma and Louise. He was in Thelma and Louise. So, and he was the guy where they blew up his truck. He's played in movies with Clint Eastwood. He's played in Shakespeare theatre, and he's an amazing gentleman. So, welcome, Marco St. John. Marco St. John, hello.
Hey,
how are you?
Sam, how are
Hey.
you? Okay.
I'm good.
Let's see. It says your computer's not allowing. Please refresh to continue recording. Refresh now. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
no. Okay.
We can see you though, so don't stress. He's going to have to come back in. That's okay. But anyway, so he's cool.
Well, this is our first live stream, so
it's the first for a few of us, I think, actually.
Yes, so the ones that we're doing. So, and it's a brand new system we're using is called Riverside. So we're not using the Zoom like with what Husky used. So this is a brand new thing, maybe not to have been done before a live stream, but we kind of had to, because the internet connection is very difficult with the Zoom, especially on a Saturday afternoon. And
right.
so
yeah,
here he comes back in.
All right, hooah!
Marco, how are you?
Hey, Sam, doing great, doing great.
Are you? I'm glad to see you.
Hey, you got the genius there, Bonnie.
Yes, exactly. She knows the technology.
Oh, she's terrific.
So, Marco, everybody is in the live chat, and could you please tell people your experience on Chatbox with Sam, and your career, a little bit about that, and what's been happening to you since your interview.
Okay. Well, let's see. Working back with my interview, I'm up for a couple of things. One of them is just recently in New Orleans. It's a series. So I'm waiting to hear Ryan Glorioso's the casting director CD, and I just sent that in. I've done several projects through him, with him as a casting director. So I have high hopes, and they'll let me know, like, Monday, Tuesday, I would think, something like that. And the other thing, waiting for that, the Bayou movie, but the Bayou movie looks like it might have gotten into too deep of water because I haven't heard. They're still waiting to do some editing, and it's taking a while. And the longer you go with that stuff, the less promising it looks. But like you and I both know, you've seen some of it, and it looks pretty good. So we have, I hope for them and for us and everything that it would work out. Be nice, the town where I am as well. And as far as the other things go, I've put some things by. I've been doing this for a long time. I did a lot of Broadway in New York, 9 shows. Most of them I played leads, all but one of them, I think. And I was a juvenile, at the time. Then soap operas, As the World Turns, a couple of others, and then I did a lot of film in New York. I did a lot of everything. I've done about 50 movies. That's what I figured. That's not, as we've already had this conversation. It's not much. Because, a lot of people have done more than that, 100, stuff like that. So I'm still hoping.
Hey,
another 50, sometime. Now things are looking good. Things are starting to pick up around here.
Really?
Yeah, New Orleans is coming back to life. So is Atlanta, and Atlanta really is Hollywood right now. I know Hollywood. Mm-hmm. What do you mean by that? But I mean, there's just more bulk coming out of Atlanta. It's cheaper for them to film there, and it's basically Hollywood now. I mean, in terms of product, it's just more stuff coming out of there. And I have a very good agent up there in Atlanta. They call the People's Store.
Oh.
And, so they have me up for whatever is right. So I everything, God willing, everything, maybe we'll see how everything develops. I'm hoping for the best. It's always been good for me in my life, and no reason why it should stop now. I tell myself, right?
Right. And Corinne did mention that the teaser trailer will be coming out very shortly for Blackwater Blues.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They're finally getting the edit on it, and they're getting it shown, because they got the producers have got to eyeball it. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
I talked to Corin not too long ago about this very topic. So, if anybody can do it, he will. I know that. And,
he will.
But we like to keep bugging him a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I always do.
So anyway, I wanted to say it's a real pleasure to have you on Chat Box with Sam. I really enjoyed the interview with you. We had such a laugh, and I was a bit nervous at first, and Marco made me feel not so quite. I was very relaxed. He was a very nice gentleman. We shared quite a few laughs. Obviously, you don't see the whole interview because I edit some of it out. We have to edit.
I've got to say, let me break in, because I've seen you on television and with your son and going to parties and things like that, and everything looked beautiful, right?
Oh yes, that was it. I went to the Emmys part. Yes, my friends
like having a good time.
Yes, I went with my friend Ron Roger, and he took me to the Emmys. He was I met him on my interview, yes, and I met some wonderful people there. It was actually not the full Emmys, not the Oscars. It was an Emmys nominee party, and everybody was.
You look good. You look good in the middle of it.
Thank you. Yes, I was very nervous. All this food was going around, and I didn't want to eat. But and I couldn't take it home in a doggy bag. That would have been inappropriate. But yeah, so I just said no, and I was being very polite. But it was lovely. Everybody was really nice and the music was amazing. The atmosphere was tremendous. I felt very honored to be there, and everyone was just so nice. And
Well,
it was an amazing experience.
You added a nice nice part. You look very good, and you were very happy and enjoying it. And so,
thank you very much, Marcus and John. Yes, I was very happy. It was an amazing evening.
And your son looked like a nice fella. It was nice seeing you with him.
My son, oh yeah, I took him to university. He flew it. I went to the party on the Thursday, and my friend Isabel, it was her birthday, so I flew my son in on the Friday with my friend Isabel.
Photo of you and him.
Jaden, yes.
It was nice to see you together.
Well, he'd been telling me for a while, Mom, you've never took me to LA all the time you've traveled there. So I thought, I need to take him. So I took him to LA, went to Universal Studios. We had an amazing time. It was fantastic. So yes, it was great. Yeah. Great. Yes. So
Jackie says that Marco had a great smile during his interview.
Oh, Marco, look at that. I actually did answer one of his questions I asked him if there's anything that anyone has not asked you in an interview that you'd like to be asked. He goes, where are we going for dinner?
That's a great question.
That was a great answer too. Yeah, so that was funny.
So hey Marco, what are you working on now, did you say?
Well, there's a couple of projects. Let's see. I'm not working on it yet, but they saw me and they're looking. They probably want to move quickly because they're going to be filming it. And Ryan Glorioso was the. Let me see. I wrote it down just in case. The Thing About Pam. It's called. It's an ongoing TV series.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's I like the part I read for, I auditioned for. It's a judge in a case. It seemed what I read was really interesting. And
yeah, cool.
Well, I know you can't say too much.
Yeah. So say a prayer for me and hope for the best. We'll see.
We will.
It's right at the last minute, so that's why I know it's not a done deal, but it's better than just going in. You know what I'm saying? They're ready to go, and this casting director, I've gotten several good jobs from him. He's a Louisiana casting director, but he's one of the top 3 of them there.
Are you still doing the auditions online and sending them in, or are you casting in person? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, they're not doing so much of that because of COVID.
Yeah.
So, which is okay by me. I don't. It's the same thing as going all the way over to New Orleans and doing it. But another thing too, I told you before, I had COVID and and got over it and have antibodies, and so I'm gonna get a doctor to write me a little thing because you can get that now, despite what you hear in the news and the papers, that they're going to send you off to Alcatraz if you don't.
Hey, I've been there. It's pretty cool, actually.
Oh, yeah.
They nearly get one of those. They'll probably. I'm praying that'll do the deal. I think it will. I mean, I've been reading about that, and they're saying, despite what Biden is saying, if you've got something to bring in that's with the doctor's signature on it, it's
good to go.
The People's Store, the agency, they say they're not telling anybody that it's required, and everything that I read now, they're acknowledging that if you've had COVID, you're better than the jab.
Yeah, because the antibodies. Yeah. My daughter got COVID too, and she's pregnant. And a friend said, try the antibody treatment. So she did, and so she doesn't need the jab either. But so that really helped her. I think it cut her illness down in half, and protected her with the antibodies. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Well, I'm positive. I'm thinking the thing is on the decline anyway. So I'm God willing to just go away someday. Go now.
Oh.
Well, at least you can get your note like in school, and you can
I
sit out
know.
of gym class now.
Okay. There you go. Hoo-ah. Go ahead.
Oh, you're funny. Yes, you're a pleasure to know, Marco, and I'll be definitely staying in touch with you over the months, and I'm really honoured that you agreed to come on the live chat to the live stream, our very first live stream. So
well, I'm liking to see that you're really moving with this thing, your interview and everything. I hope it keeps going. It looks like it will, because you're getting a lot of reactions and everything.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Yes, I feel very blessed.
You got the genius here working with you, so
I know.
You need a tech person like that. Yeah, right. Yeah, a good tech person can, do it.
Well, Bonnie's the producer too. There's a lot of background work, and we work together as a team with Husky. Husky helped me set up all this. So between the three of us, we work very hard together, and we made it work. And then the guests and the people supporting us. I think it takes a village to make something work. And,
well, people
and I'm thankful to it.
Work.
People enjoy your show, don't they? I mean,
yes,
you're doing a lot of it. So,
yeah, I hope so.
Well, obviously, people you got an audience, and that's the way to do it, right?
Absolutely. Have you got anything that any questions in the audience that you'd like to ask Marco? Is there anyone there?
Yeah, well, Little Sam is here, and they're all talking about how glad they are to see live events, and let me look back and see if I missed any questions. But
mention Thelma and Louise. I know a lot of ladies out there who got some questions and want to ask you. I played the love interest in Thelma and Louise. Oh, wait a minute, no, I played the truck driver.
Oh yeah. You played the Brad Pitt character, right?
Yeah, no, that's what I thought. I thought,
Right.
somebody said, no, it's Brad Pitt. That's I said, okay.
Yeah.
Brad wouldn't have minded. We can blow up your truck instead, Brad. Is that cool?
Well, the truck driver, I mean, he was a wonderful character, but he really annoyed a lot of. I would use some other language, but I mean, we're on a nice video. So they got a lot of reaction. However, there's a woman that wrote a book about the movie and for Callie Corey, and Callie Corey, I think, hated me because she felt the truck driver I made him. She wanted him to be something else. But Ridley Scott and Ridley says, I don't. He says, if anybody feels sorry for you at the end of your scene, the movie is over. So
that's interesting direction.
Yeah, so we kind of went a little bit over the edge, I'm sure. But the woman that wrote the book, she said, what's the third most popular scene in that whole movie? And I said, what's that? And she said, the truck driver scene.
Right.
Right on. That's pretty cool.
It was kind of like.
Right. Yeah. Oh, they thought it was going to be because it was a little over the top, but I think it was appropriate because the guy had to be a Yahoo. He had to wreck everything because if he didn't, you'd say, "Oh, those women are terrible." The poor man, his truck. That's how he earns a living.
Yeah.
It wasn't that kind of movie.
Well, he had a bad attitude, and Thelma and Louise had hormones. That's what happens. Boom.
So a couple of people are saying that they're going to watch Thelma and Louise and look out for you. And Jackie would like to know, what was your favorite part that you've ever played?
Your favorite part? Oh, should I tell them?
Yes.
Tell them.
No, I played Hamlet.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's a small little nothing role, but
Actually, he got a very.
I've heard of that guy.
Facetious. Hamlet's a great role. Every actor worthy salt. That's what they want to. That's what you want to play.
And he got a very good. He got a very good
Yeah, New York
clipping in
Times.
New York Times
Right, New
for
York
playing
Times and
Hamlet.
Los
Yeah.
Angeles Times sent people down, and
Yeah.
they came down and saw it. And it was a big hit. Ran all summer at the Shakespeare Festival in, what's the town south of L.A. Well, the Shakespeare Festival in
In Los Angeles.
La Jolla. No, it's down below, down the next town down below. Anyway, it's a national Shakespeare Festival.
Oh,
Been so long
Cool.
ago. But yeah.
I'll have to check that out, actually.
Oh yeah, and it's the Globe. It's called the Globe.
Oh.
And it's down there. Anyway, they it sold out for the whole summer.
Wow.
Yeah. And
that means it was making a difference.
Well, the kids loved it. The young people. It was called the
Yeah.
Hippie Hamlet. I was a young man then, and it was about how a young youth in the midst of the elder society, which is they were at crosshairs all the time. So it was the kids, the young people loved it, and they came in droves, and then everybody started coming. So,
Well, you can't ever control the young kids. You know how that can be.
Yes.
well, it's some people, but the New York Times gave it a great review, and so
Yes.
did the Los Angeles Times. So that got people going too. It did really well. So,
That's good. I mean, that's the best possible outcome for doing Hamlet,
yeah, and I liked Shakespeare. I did Shakespeare in New York at the New York Shakespeare Festival in Central Park. So I always enjoyed classical works and everything. But I liked everything. I've been an actor all my life, and I love acting.
What an amazing history in the industry you've had, though. An amazing. And now you're here on Chatbox with Sam, Livestream, talking about it and sharing your memories of this. And I want to say thank you so much, Marco.
You're
and
welcome.
we really
You're welcome.
appreciate you being here and talking with us and letting the viewers hear what you have to say. So thank you. We will have to bring in our next guest now. That is waiting.
Well, very good.
We wanted to say
Thank you
for
so
your
much
patience.
for working with us
You're
today.
welcome. So nice being with you, and I don't begrudge the next guest an opportunity to talk to such two lovely ladies. So
Thank you.
It's KZ Howell. Thank you, Marco.
All right. God bless.
God bless you.
Thank you all.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, what's going on there? Okay, so let's bring in KZ. Now, our next guest, you all know him, KZ Howell. He is an author and he's an amazing gentleman and friend. So, and his camera's
All right. So we're going to just wait for his camera and he'll be in with us.
Yes.
What does that say?
I don't know.
Sorry, just reading a little thing. Oh,
it's KZ's waiting.
We're going to try it one more time.
Sorry about this, folks.
Well, anyway, in the meantime,
trial and error.
When we had our little tech issue a minute ago in the beginning, well, I guess that was like 15 minutes ago. But anyway, I was talking about an announcement that you were going to make, and I was referring to the merch.
Oh, I didn't think we were going to talk about that yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so the announcement is I will have two designs, my season 1 and season 2. We now have a merch store on Chatbox with Sam where you can buy cups, blankets, refrigerator magnets, t-shirts, hoodies, long shirts, and it's got the Chatbox with Sam logo on the one. And then the logo here with the heart. And there'll be another option to buy that too. Obviously, I haven't been over the prices yet. I'll have to go over that with Bonnie. But there's many things to buy, and there'll be some giveaways too for suggestions on Chatbox with Sam. Any suggestions that come in that we like, we'll have a giveaway of certain products with the logo. So, and suggesting friends to come on and like the channel and subscribe. And there'll be gifts coming out for that too. KZ Howell, welcome to Chat Box with Sam.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Yes.
We can see you. I'm super excited.
We can see you. Yeah, other way. There you go.
Yay.
Yeah. Just need to turn that volume up. Your volume's
Oh, darn
I'm having
it.
trouble.
Well,
Crazy.
we'll try again.
So anyway, with the merge store, so I will put a link out there maybe tomorrow, Bonnie.
Yeah.
I'll put a link out there tomorrow.
Actually, the link is in the description box of the video right now.
Okay, that's good. Well, you can check on that link, not now, and check that out later. And
Yeah,
I'll
after
also be
this.
posting it on all. I'll also be posting it on social media, so you can just have a look. Anyway, at the products there, I'm sure you've seen merch stores before, so it's the kind of same materials on there and same cups and plates and stuff like that, and clocks. I like clocks, but anyway,
yes.
you can go and check that out if you want to. Are we losing KZ? We are.
Yeah, I think he's not getting his audio, but he's clearly trying again. So possibly we can get him on a laptop or a computer. That'll make it work out. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
But at least he's connected, so we'll keep trying. It's reminiscent of our Zoom parties, eh?
Right.
Rachel, the phantom of Zoom.
Yes, the phantom. Rachel is asking something.
Oh.
Yes, KZ is having some issues, Rachel.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of connection issues because KZ's where he is. We all know where he is, but we're not going to say that live. But
he's trying.
He's trying to get in. And has anybody got any questions for Bonnie or I at the moment?
We do have a quick delay, so it'll take a minute for the question to pop up. But if you have questions, ask away. We'll get to them as soon as we see them. But in the meantime, I just want to add that the merch store also has Husky and MMGS stuff in it too, aside from the Sam store. It's a whole Sam store though. But
it's not always about me.
No, I'm just saying that the Chat Box with Sam store is all Chat Box with Sam, but there's also that stuff. Also in the Chat Box with Sam store, the only thing in there now is the logo, but we're going to be adding other designs too. So check back often.
Actually, the design with the heart is the one that I kind of designed from.
The one that's behind you now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We're going to get that one in.
Because the heart has got the light coming out of it, which is spirituality, and the speakers, because I'm chatty on my interviews.
You're a little chat box.
Little chat box with Sam. I don't know who got with that. Oh,
see,
yes,
people think that chat box is the show, but really it's you. Chat box.
It's
Sam,
me.
Right?
Mm-hmm. That's me. Yeah. Miss Chat Box with Sam. Here he comes again. Okay.
Yeah, let's try again.
Disconnect. Yeah. Okay, so let me talk to him for a second. I think his mic's off. The mic is off. Yeah, we did hear him though.
Yeah, it was working. And it's loading up.
Okay, we can see you, KZ. It's okay.
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us?
Oh, darn. Maybe he couldn't.
People are having difficulties when they're coming on with their phones. I think it's a much user-friendly platform if they come in on their laptop.
Yeah, definitely. But we know it works with the phones, so I think maybe signal is an issue also. It seems like it's a little bit difficult. So But
Okay.
let's see. Did anybody have questions? I'm looking. But I know that Rachel apologizes for not being as talkative as usual, although I see her talking plenty, but she's not feeling good. She's not feeling good because her dog, 120-pound Hades, jumped on her head. So that stinks.
I knew it was going to be ended up going to a Great Dane. You've got a huge Great Dane.
I'm sorry that
that's going to
hurts,
need
though.
some
That
training.
sucks. But that's, at least you're here. We see you here, so you survived, but that's terrible. At least it wasn't your stomach this time, right?
Oh, I know. So what's coming up? So we're going to get our first season 2. I will talk a little bit about that. You see the photos coming out of the guests that are coming, that I've interviewed for season 2. Very nice people, actors, artists. We have a musician as well, Selwyn Birchwood.
Oh yeah, that's going to be cool.
Ron Roger is an actor. He was in Stranger Things, and he's played in many TV series and still working to this day on filming. So I don't want to say too much about them because I want you to watch the interviews and let them hear it from themselves what they've been saying.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. The lineup that's coming up for season 2 is going to be very cool. It's a whole different arena of stuff, you know. I liked that in season 1 we were able to see a lot of friendly faces, people we recognize from other projects and things like that, and meet a few new people as well. And luckily, a couple of them are hopefully going to be in here today. And but meanwhile, it's led to a new arena for season 2, which is going to involve some fresh faces that we're going to get to know, and that's going to be pretty exciting because they're cool people. So some of the stuff you've been posting the last couple of days with some of the previews, right? That's going to be awesome, right? Right?
You're talking to me?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
No, I'm not telling anybody any information. I'm shutting down. I'm only joking. I'm just like, I'm so sorry that the guests can't get in, and I think it's just the Mercury reaching retrograde. But no, no one knows what the future is going to hold, you know, with Chatbox with Sam. I mean, I feel very blessed right now with season 1, and I've already filmed all of season 2 and all the guests on season 2. I'm still honored to have every single person on there and showing the familiarity and unique differences. Everybody's been really, really nice. And, you know, and I do want to do more live streams, but we'll see how that goes. You know, so I'm chatty, but I'm just waiting for KZ.
I know. He he says that every time he opens it up, it just boots him right out. So he's thinking that it might be the internet connection. And I was just explaining that we've had some trouble with that today in other areas too. But I'm going to just let him know if he wants to try again that he can, and we will watch for him.
Did we hear from any other guest yet?
Nope, not yet. Hopefully we will have one more pretty shortly. Let me just double check.
Okay.
Just give me a sec. Sorry, guys. Let's see here. So I let KZ know if he wants to give it another try, if he thinks that the connection's any better, that he can try again. So we'll just watch for that in the meantime. And the other guest may be able to get here. So we'll hang in for that. So tell me, Sam, what did you enjoy most about season 1?
The guests.
Yeah. What did you find was the most common thing in your interviews? Oh, well, great. So that's neat. It looks like Sam has possibly also lost internet. So I'm going to try to get her back in. But I think it's pretty much a good idea if I interview her when she comes back. So let me just click some buttons. I know, Rachel. I'm trying to get her back in. Do you guys have any questions for Sam that we can ask her when she comes back about her experience doing Chatbox with Sam? Because I think that would be kind of cool. Meanwhile, I'm clicking some stuff. Oh, Jackie says she's a fan for life. And Sam, thanks, guys. She's going to love to hear that. Looks like something weird's going on. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? Weirder things have happened. In the meantime, Rachel, you want to know who's her ultimate dream guest that she would love to interview? Okay, that's a great question. Sorry, there's a delay between us. You know how it works, I think, right? Let me shut that too. I know I probably look insane trying to be on here and on there, but I'm actually messing with her settings, trying to get her back on. I'd love to know why she keeps going out, though. It looks like a Google problem. So we're using a new platform called Riverside, and Riverside is pretty good so far, but definitely has some quirks and only seems to want to work with the Chrome browser. So it looks like Chrome is misbehaving, and I don't know why. But in the meantime, I can't let in any guests without her, so I'm going to keep working on it. Who's entertaining in the chat tonight? Rachel, you want to be the entertainer? Oh, I might have made some progress. Yep. All right. I think I got her back, guys. Me? Rachel, are you talking about me? I don't look insane? Oh, sure. I don't. I'm sure I don't. Let me just let her know I've got her back. And I'm going to click her back in. Well, thanks, Rachel, though. I really appreciate that you don't think that I look insane. I feel like I look insane, but I probably don't. I probably look totally normal. Hopefully. Jackie, you brought the booze, did you? Did you bring snacks, Jackie? Because you said you were going to bring snacks. I'd like to know what snacks you have. Hello, Samantha. Welcome back to Chat Box with Sam's live stream.
I was like, I didn't know. I need water. Well, I want to know how mine keeps crashing and yours is staying.
I couldn't tell you. Oddly, I guess I'm having a better connection today, but I think Chrome actually just crashed. I got it to reboot, and here you are.
Is anyone still here? Because
Oh, there are people still here watching, but we're the guests. So I was thinking that we should ask you a couple of questions, though. What do you think of that?
yes, go on then. Ask me a few questions. So I'm trying to get another guest in, and he's going to be here shortly.
I believe it was Rachel who asked, who is your dream guest that you would really love to get onto your show at some point?
Oh, I can't.
All right.
Rachel. Okay. I've got two people that I'd like to have on my show, but I'm happy with everybody that comes on. Sally Fields, because I really think she's wonderful.
You really, really like her?
I think she's a wonderful actress, and I remember in a few films, Steel Magnolias, and I bawled my eyes out to that movie.
Yeah,
Steel
me
Magnolias.
too. And then I just kept watching it again and again, even though I knew that was going to happen every time.
Yes. And who wouldn't want Keanu Reeves on their show either? Just saying.
I don't know. I don't know who wouldn't.
He seems like a very kind soul.
Yeah.
I only met him once, but he seemed a very kind soul. And there's a lot of people I'd like to have on my show, actually. But the about some people that are making a difference with charities and advocates. Alyssa Milano, Mark Ruffalo.
That would be awesome.
You know, people that are out there making a difference with charities. I'm going to be having a lady on my show, which I don't want to mention her name now because the interview is not done yet, and that's a policy I have. But she's an amazing advocate for charities, and Meredith Thomas is an amazing advocate for charities too. And most of the ladies and gents that I've interviewed on this season, and to me, that is priceless. When anyone, Craig Bierko will be in here in a moment. He was on season 1. He's a huge advocate for Loma Linda Children's University Hospital for children's heart transplants. And when a public figure can make a difference by creating awareness for these charities, because obviously there's not always government or public funding, and a lot of hospitals and they need the resources from charities to survive, and because always available, so that's what I'd like, people that advocate for certain charities to help children, animals, the elderly, diseases, cancer, dementia, sorry, not dementia, sorry, but and I haven't even been drinking yet. Amazing.
I haven't either.
Too
but now
early.
I'm starting to question that decision.
It's daylight, but it must be 6 o'clock somewhere.
All right. So here's another question. So Rachel wanted to know what was the most surprising thing that you learned from doing the interview? So I want to just kind of modify that and add on this question, like, what did you take from the interviews that you weren't expecting? Like, when you did the interview, you knew you would be talking to people, asking them questions. You knew what questions you were going to ask. But when you start getting the answers from people and you engage in those conversations with people, what did you take from that was good for you as a person from talking to so many different people about those same topics?
Because everyone doesn't always have the same view. And you have to be humble. It's not about me and my views. When I'm interviewing someone, it's about them and their views and their opinions and their, facts or truth. And being able to listen and not judge. So what I am trying to promote is also what I have to become or be myself. You know, I listen to people's views. If there's something, just maybe a fraction of what I feel a little bit different, it doesn't matter, because people are allowed to express their views, and and it's kind of hypocritical to us to try and promote one thing and then be another. So I come away with listening to their views, and you know, there's, even if it might not be the same views as yours, there's a it's just a different perspective of looking at things. Like people with politics, best not to bring up politics, but they have different perspectives of what they feel is true, and then what another person feels is true. You know, it doesn't make us a bad person for having a different opinion. It just means our opinion's different. But the person we are inside, unless they're real awful, which I've never had an awful person on my show, you know, yeah, just be humble with people. That's what I've learned. Be kind. You know, there's things that you can say, and there's things that you can hold back on. Do I really need to voice out everything? Can I hold back? You know, each situation depends. So be humble with people.
Yeah.
You know, be kind. Just be kind. How would you want to be spoke to? How would you want to be listened? How would you still want someone to listen to you? How would you want someone to talk to you? I think how we treat people defines who we are, not our past or where we're going. It's how you treat people that define you. And that's how I feel. And everyone that's come on my show, they've been, you know, we're all human beings. And that's what I want to promote. It doesn't matter about our background unless someone's horrible to people, you know, like murderers and stuff. Obviously I wouldn't have them on my show. They'd be going to Alcatraz.
Alcatraz again.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I took that same stuff from it. It was really interesting to see how similar a lot of the answers were. I mean, even down to like most people picking similar charities, even if they're by different names, they were all kind of looking for the same sort of outcome from what they would give to. And you know, the lessons that they would say to the younger generation are all really similar, you know, like don't give up, follow your dreams, you got to work hard, you know, and things like that. So that was really cool. You know, I think it really accomplished the goal of showing that even though we have so many people around us from different backgrounds, different career fields and knowledge bases and everything, we're sort of all just kind of out here just being humans, and there's so much we have in common. It's easy to find those things and stay on the same page with people and get along. So on that charity note, though, Jackie wants to know if we each were to pick a charity, which ones we would pick.
I think mine would be St. Jude's.
Yeah.
For the children, and March of Dimes. And that's because I lost a baby myself, and I don't usually talk about it, but it's very close to his anniversary on Monday. Don't want to put a dampener on things because it's okay. I'm very blessed. I've got 2 beautiful grandchildren, 1 on the way, and 3 wonderful children. But the nurses, they give so much when that happens to parents, and then the parents go through so much. It can keep you together or pull you apart. And I think it's great for people to donate to March of Dimes too, because it helps the families and it helps the medical staff help the families. So I think March of Dimes would be one of my favorites. Yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good choice, Samantha. I like that answer very much.
Thank you. Chat box with Bonnie.
Not quite.
Well, I wasn't expecting all the questions.
I know. That's how it is. You see, I'm just, it's an assault, no problem. But I also really like St. Jude. I like that they give so much of the money, and preferably all of it, from what I understand. Hopefully that's what it is. It seems to be that way. And that's really hard to find these days. You know, charities are out here, you know, raising money for a lot of different things. And when it's all going where it's supposed to go, it's it makes such a big difference. I mean, and when you have kids that have difficulties of any kind, to be able to provide their families with support and give them the care they need and figure it out and get it better for everyone is a huge, huge thing. And I also really like the Hot Topic Foundation and any other charity that's intending to raise money to give towards music education, and also especially music therapy. Any kind of organization that sees the importance of keeping music in school systems and providing instruments and lessons and things like that to young people so they can find their music at an early age, because I think that's really, really important. And that's definitely where I would like to funnel my money eventually. I think music should be much more prominent and more accessible. So those places are really good for me. So that's what I would pick. Since you asked, Jackie.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for asking the question. And Jackie, what would you pick? And then you can share what you pick.
I'll watch for that.
Yes.
It takes a minute to come
Hey,
up,
everybody in the audience that is there, I know it's early and people are probably working and stuff, but tweet out your favorite charity. Let's have a project.
I'm also seeing some other chat over here that may suggest that Craig might be in the chat, perhaps, and working to get in here. But either Craig or Greg Bierko wants to know, where's Bierko? So we'll
hi Craig, how are you, sweetheart? So yes, I text him sent him the link.
I think he's heading to his machine as fast as possible. So Jackie, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he's got Riverside, I think.
Jackie answered that she has ASPCA as her charity.
The animals, we've got to take care of those animals. Pet adoption is the way to go. Absolutely.
There are a lot.
Yes,
a lot of us have adopted pets.
Yes, and I've adopted Zeus. We all know about Zeus, and Craig Bierko has Boo, and he adopted her many years ago. Bonnie and I have been tweeting Craig for quite a few years, and he was my very first guest. I was very honored for him to appear on my chat box with Sam, and he was the longest interview, and very, very lovely guy, very fun. We split his interview up to two because it was the first one that I'd ever done. I was very nervous, and I told him I was nervous, and he was very, very kind to me. So and he's got an amazing charity that he advocates for with the Loma Linda's University Children's Hospital, and sometimes he'll tweet that out. You can follow him on Twitter at Mr. Craig Bierko, and then he's on Instagram and Facebook. Yes, he does have a Facebook, and he's played in films like Long Kiss Goodnight with Gina Davis, and 13th Floor, and The Stooges. He was in that. That's a very funny film. I cried laughing at that film. He was the music man. He's been in theatre. He can sing and dance. So he's very talented, and he's very funny.
Yes, he's very.
Look
very
at his
nice
Twitter bio. That's quite funny too. His Twitter bio, and I won't say where he lives because but yes. And
a lot of people are responding about their adopted pets in the chat.
Let's hear about them.
Yeah, so we've got I just lost it. Okay, so Jackie mentions that all of the animals that she shows us on Twitter, I see them a lot too, and those are all adopted animals. And then Lil Sam says that her black cat Pounce is adopted. And Jackie also, she's a pet trainer and behavioralist. And I've seen a lot of your stuff, Jackie, where you post, the animals doing things, hanging out or doing things like that. And that's pretty cool to see. I really like to see when animals get fostered and adopted and start to acclimate to their new surroundings, and you can watch like the process of where they came in all scared, and then the next thing you know, they're like laying on the owner's, chest and just being comfy. And that's so nice to see them have that change of their, obviously their feelings, and go from being so scared to being comfortable in their like forever homes. And Alice, our friend Alice, who I don't see her in chat, but I'm thinking she'll probably watch this later, but she also fostered an animal, I believe, and that was really exciting for her to be able to do that. I remember that happening. But
and we know Rachel with her dogs.
Yes, many dogs.
And we're still trying to talk KZ into having another dog.
Oh yeah, I think we should just send him one, and that'll just be that.
Bonnie's actually a cat person, but what's that say? Bonnie's actually a cat person, but she hasn't got any at the moment. But I like cats, but I'm highly allergic, so that doesn't happen. I'm allergic to horses too, but yes, I just think, I watch if that is it the dodo
Oh
channel
yeah, the videos
on Instagram, and then I always get a good tissue and watch their videos because it shows you. I was like, I shouldn't watch this, especially when I'm hormonal. I shouldn't watch it, but I do, and I watch it again. Apart from the pimple popper,
I have to get some of the. Oh no.
Just being honest, I was like, oh, look at that.
You need a good tissue for that too, I suppose.
Yeah. I was only on screen.
Right. I know. Thank goodness. That's
nowhere in the vicinity. But anyway,
though, like I won't lie or anything. I find it interesting, that show. It's like medical
I did used to work for a dermatologist years and years ago.
Yeah.
So
well, I think it's kind of cool how she explains how it all happens and then how you resolve it, like really resolve it, instead of just being like, oh, let me just cover that up or whatever, make it worse or something. She's like, this is how you get it to go away and stay gone.
I said, you know what? We've got full coverage with Avon.
Yeah. Or that other one that they're using like for film and stage now, where you can like straight up cover your tattoo and it's like waterproof and everything and completely gone. Just that stuff that they're coming out with now. I don't know what's in that stuff, but I've never seen the kind of like coverage that we're seeing nowadays.
Yeah. Okay, so where is he?
Well, he said he was sprinting. So
bless him.
I guess we can't expect more than that. He's hurtling towards us as we speak.
Well, yeah, he wasn't supposed to be on yet anyway, and we're having trouble with KZ's internet issues, and then somebody else's. There's quite a few people having internet issues today. So
it's true.
When you're live, there's nothing much you can do. We're live, and
that's part of the adventure. I'm sure everybody's been like, oh, it's very quiet for a few minutes.
I want to talk a little bit about the country opening up again, and how's everybody feeling? Do they feel safe? Obviously, there's people for and against, and I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah.
But do you feel safer now? Do you feel that obviously COVID's still very, like any virus, they don't just die and disappear. They come back and mutate. But do a lot of you feel safer now especially than you did in 2020? Because that was very scary for everybody in 2020. So you've seen your families and being able to go out to restaurants in your areas that you're in?
I know that where I am, it's pretty normal, I'll say. And I mean, it's that whole new normal thing. It's sort of a new normal because some places still are looking for masks and things like that to go on. But a lot of places are really, I mean, I live in a pretty small town comparatively, so we don't have a lot of people hanging around each other anyway. So I think that's really contributed to how people are treating the situation inside of stores and stuff, because it's not like jam-packed anywhere you go. There's not a big group of people anywhere. So we're not really running like that. We're pretty much like 6 feet apart all the time anyway, you know?
Yeah.
So it's been, I think that a lot of people have gotten sort of back to how it was before this. Like I'm still seeing effects on stuff in stores. I don't know why there's a shortage on grapefruit, but there is, or something, because I can't find it. So when I do find it, I get like 3 of the giant things of it, you know, because I like it already in the container. You know what I mean? Like I like the regular grapefruit that you peel and stuff too, but I'm just completely like obsessed with this already peeled grapefruit and I still can't find it a lot. It's not fair. I don't understand.
We all know Bonnie's a snacker. Anyway, Sam, she loves the snacks on Zooms. Gotta get the whole thing. I've seen a whole platter and I've seen her devour whole chicken in front of me on Skype when we first met 11 years ago. And I just sat there.
Well, I didn't put it all in my mouth at once or anything.
No, this is a period of 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours. Just,
yeah.
Anyway, Rachel, Sam, and Rachel both feel safer now. And I was able to read that without my glasses. I'm not putting my glasses on. Maybe I should put my glasses on.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to put my glasses on. Hi, everyone. How are you? Now I've got my glasses on.
They look beautiful. I should
stop being so vain, shouldn't
They're
I?
just lovely.
Snacks, Samantha, yes. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can speak to you guys. Jackie.
That's perfect. I'm glad. Yeah.
I don't care. Yeah. Oh, he's sprinting. Hi, Craig. I think he must be on his way now. So, did KZ manage to come back in?
I haven't seen him. He's in the chat though, so he's doing what he can, I think, to just chill with us, which is cool. Maybe we could ask some questions in there.
Sam. Yes, KZ, ask. Try again, but I think Craig is going to be trying to come in. Did you get hold of John or anybody?
He said also that he was trying to get here as fast as possible too, if he can. He was headed that way. So Rachel says, I bring the snacks and she brings the liquor and falls asleep and we tease her. And
who brings the liquor?
Crunching in everybody's ear and Rachel's shooting her. What is that stuff called? That blue stuff that I hated that she loves. You know what I mean? The one that glows if you put a light under it. That bottle of, it's like Mystique.
I don't know. We were in Florida when we got some of that. In Florida, that blue. It's sapphire something.
It was like hypnotic. That's what it was. Yeah, she typed it out. That's right. Ew, I remember that. The guy's like, here, give it a try. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, Rachel said it's hypnotic.
Yeah. Ugh. I didn't love it. But she does, and that's fine. We don't have to worry about me drinking her drink because that's not.
Yes, that was in Florida. That was a good time. We was going to be going to some more Comic-Cons, but we're going to wait till next year now. Maybe we didn't want to do the ones because we'd already been to the one in Florida. Maybe next time we'll hit Chicago or New York, maybe New Orleans, and we'll see, or Los Angeles. You never know.
Yeah,
I do like to travel a little bit, but with the pandemic, none of us can do that. But now it's starting to open up a little bit. We can travel around a bit more. So, and just 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, Craig should be coming in anytime soon. Bless him. Bless his socks.
That's fantastic.
Because it's 4:30, 7:30 his time.
Yeah.
So
it's 7:20 here. Yep. So
down here next year. Yes, we'll probably be there next year, Rachel. Absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe sooner.
Yes. Jackie,
Hopefully.
what's Jackie saying? He took my booze and ran. Who did? KZ, you bad boy. So, yes, I'm sorry. So the guests, some of them probably couldn't get in here today. We did have a few guests, and there's a couple of them that
we had some
things happen in life
and all kinds of tech things, and It's been a very adventurous day for sure.
Yeah,
Very.
and I did an interview today with a
Yes, you
very
did.
wonderful lady. Yes, very
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, it's
Christina
been
Di Rosa and the Danny Aruro. I hope I said his name right. Anna
Arroyo.
Arroyo. Sorry,
Yeah.
Danny. Anna Maria Di Mara. Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful young lady. And Gloria Gurrea. I probably said her name wrong. Sorry, Gloria. I met her at the I already interviewed her, but I met her at the Emmys party too, along with Meredith, and she was another guest, Meredith Thomas. Very lovely ladies. And then we have Ron Roger coming on, and
I think that was
Selwyn.
really cool how you got to meet the people too.
Well,
That
they referred each other. Danny
I
referred me to
know that was
Ron
so cool.
and Gloria, and Ron referred me to Meredith, and Ron has referred me to quite a few people actually. Ron Roger, the actor. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's been really
so,
cool how it's all just kind of panned out that way, you know?
yes, and it's lovely. And I've got a Christine Breen is an artist, and she's got an art show coming up in Los Angeles, and she has been interviewed on my show. Sorry, and Michelle Bernard is an actress, very lovely lady, being interviewed on my show. John Fugelsang has been interviewed on my show. He's a nice gentleman and comedian, stand-up comedian. Sexy
Yeah,
Little
I'm
Tour
looking
with
forward to
Stephanie
that for
Miller.
sure.
He's a lovely gent, and so he'll be on my show too. So yes, there's quite a few people coming up. So
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
I know. I'm very, very blessed. Very blessed.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting.
I feel like since we've since I ever heard of John Fugelsang on Twitter so long ago, being able to see him now in an interview with you is going to be it's almost surreal, that it's been like all this time and then you finally got to have a conversation with him and get his views on there, and I'm really looking forward to that because I've seen him talking about so many things over the years that I can't wait to see what he answered to you because I haven't even been able to see it yet. So that's going to be cool.
Well, yeah, I've been to a few of his shows, him and Stephanie Miller, and met Rico Overton and John a couple of times at their shows, watched their show, and my friend Sally as well.
Yeah.
Very,
Yes, Sally.
very funny, very, very funny. Yeah, hysterical. I'd advise everybody to, when they open up and get tickets, they are doing online tickets too. You can see their show, Sexy Liberal Tour, online. And John has his own Radio Cyrus XFM, if I've said that right. Sorry, John. And he has his own show, Sirius XM, yeah. So he actually went down underwater and did a live broadcast from underwater. You could look
That's
that up
freaking
online.
awesome.
Yeah, he did that a few years ago.
I want to do that.
That was pretty amazing. That was pretty amazing. The first underwater and it was like a little yellow submarine thing, but it was
In a
quite
yellow
awesome.
submarine.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. He does love the Beatles. So,
Yeah.
but he was just very nice gent.
That's
Very
pretty
nice gent.
cool. Well,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
And
that.
Craig, I can't wait for Craig to get on here because he'll light the room up. He's
I
so
know.
funny. Yeah.
Well, maybe he'll bring Boo.
Yes, he will, hopefully.
That'll
Come
be
on,
cool.
Craig. Yes. Boo has her own Twitter page and he adopted her. So,
Yeah.
and he does the Daily Boo, and Boo is a great mascot for the Lover. I nearly said it.
No.
Loma
Not that.
Linda Children's Hospital. Well, everybody knows what I was going to say because the Lat fam are in there, and we love you. We love you all.
We love all of ourselves.
That was good times with the Lat fam too. Yes, it was. But episodes shut down and new ones in life and in the industry and live streams. Yes, it's an ever-changing process and it's okay.
So guess what? There's a new person in there named Michelle who Lil Sam says, "Oh, hi, Michelle. Glad you make it. Glad you made it." So do we, who else do we, and Rachel wants to know if it would be okay to make guest requests. She has a suggestion of a comedian. So tell us your suggestion, Rachel. Of course, we can request whoever we want, but it's really we don't know if they'll do it or not.
Sorry, I'm still lost on the Michelle bit. Sorry, what?
Oh, I was just saying hi to Michelle. Sam says hi. She's one of her friends from Twitter that, you know, we all talk on Twitter a little bit, but we don't always get to talk outside of Twitter. And she's here in the audience, and it's new.
Hi, Michelle. Yeah. How are you? Thank you very much for joining the live chat.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for sticking with us through the technical issue. And it looks like my video is going off again.
That's all right. Let's fix it.
I want to know why you're in and mine keeps getting booted out since it's on my computer first. Here we go.
There we go.
I was like, click.
I don't know.
Click,
I don't know why
click.
that's happening. This never happens with yours, but
I know.
It's just something fun for today, I guess. But
okay, Rachel's. What's Rachel's question?
Okay, so yeah, Rachel, say it here. So she was asking if they could make suggestions like request guests, and I was saying, well, you know, we can request anybody out here, but will they do it? We'll see.
The thing is, I've never publicly asked somebody, and if I can get hold of a person, I would definitely ask, but I would never ask a person publicly. Well, I suppose I would. I have done in the past. and then I thought, yeah, I did with one person when mentioning their name. But, you know, just suggested, you know, hey, what about my show? You know, but I think I don't really think that's a good idea because it puts them in an awkward position, especially if they not necessarily don't want to, but they can't or they're, you know, they're busy. And so if I can get hold of a person or if I can get their publicist or their manager and I can contact the person, then definitely I will ask. I'll use the suggestion and ask. Absolutely. But, you know, they're in a very busy industry and it's a new show for me. So they don't know who I am. So, you know.
Yeah.
So well, I'm not offended if people
it works
can't be
out
on my show.
Yeah, sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But they're also saying who, you know, it would be cool for them to see these people. So we've got Donnie Wahlberg, a suggestion from Sam. And then Rachel said that she thinks it would be awesome to see you working with Jeff Dunham. He's a comedian. Do you know who he is? He's so funny. That would be great. I would love to see that. Have you seen him before, Sam?
I'm not very good with names, as you know, Bonnie, so please don't ask me if I know who someone is, because that's not good.
You probably do know who he is. I bet that you do.
I probably do by his face, yeah, but not with names. I'm terrible with names. Always have been.
Oh, so, and
do you remember Elvis Presley? No, who is that? Don't know.
Is he the one that does the dancing thing?
Yeah, do you remember the I know my dog does that with his mouth. Zeus, if he thinks he's in trouble, he puts up his lip. And I've actually took a picture of it and posted it on Twitter. And that was a mild version of his lip. Sometimes he goes into full Elvis, and it's really funny.
So funny
because he'll lift his lip right up. And he'll lift his lip right up and
Well,
it's kind of funny.
Isabel is in here. Isabel Sina. She says hi.
Oh, Isabel. Isabel was the one that brought Jaden out to Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And it was her birthday and her daughter's birthday. So everybody say happy birthday to Isabel and Athena because she celebrated it for 3 weeks.
Well, that beats my record.
Sorry, Isabel. I couldn't help it. It was just there on the tip of my tongue.
Cool. I would if I could. I know everybody always cuts me off after like 2 weeks. They're like, it's not your birthday anymore. But it is.
People usually cut me off after an hour.
Well, also my friend Parson Brown, the voice wizard, is here. He says happy birthday to Isabel. But He popped in to say hi
Parson.
too. Yeah.
Yes, I remember when we were talking about that. We were on that live climate change
Yeah.
podcast. Yes,
Yeah.
that was very
That was
good.
cool.
Parsons,
That was
well
his
done.
birthday party, actually.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know. I was just too busy. I was going to be a host on that show too, but it was just too much work with the chat box with Sam, and yeah, I
Yeah, that was an
couldn't.
overlap of stuff.
If my time, if my time ever frees up, I would definitely be a host for that, but not right now,
Yeah.
because climate change is very important to me for the future generation. But
Yeah.
so.
So, hey, I got a question for you, Sam, about season 2 in relation to season 1. Where did you go now?
I'm just
there you
waiting.
are. Are you going to, should we expect a similar experience in season 2 as far as the questions and the questioning and things like that we saw in season 1? Or do you have new things in mind?
No, season 2, they're the same questions, but there's a couple. It was also improv. As I was more comfortable, obviously, with season 1, I was kind of nervous.
Yeah.
And I will admit it, because I didn't know how people were going to react, especially to the COVID question.
Yeah.
So with season 2 seemed to flow a little bit more easier for me, with being comfortable myself to be asking the questions, and then some of the questions just turned into a conversation and improv. So it was just, they were spur of the moment responses. My questions were responses to their responses. So new questions would come up at the time. So it's improvisation and just a general conversation, and then the flow of the conversation would lead from one question to another question, and so on and so forth, and then gaining more information that way. And each person, was very interesting to talk to, and they've all, like, in the background and their thoughts, and they had a lot to share in the industry of what they've been doing. So I don't want to say too much, because I want you to watch the interview.
Yeah.
And hit like.
Yeah. Oh, and hit
If you
like
hit
on
like,
this as well. Definitely.
okay,
and
so
subscribe.
right, and the first, can we find out who hit first? Yeah, the first 5 people to hit like and get another person to subscribe to the channel, I will send a gift from the merch store with a logo. And
So
all you have to do is hit me up with so I'll be watching. I'll be watching.
All right.
And Bonnie will be watching.
Yeah, I'm watching right now.
Obviously, you can't get the person, but if you get the person before the live stream, not the live stream, the interview comes out, and they say, hey, I got this person to subscribe to the channel, we will verify that, and then hit like when the interview is played, and the first 5 people, I'll send out a gift to them.
Yeah,
all you have to do is DM me. I'll follow you. I'll probably follow you on Twitter. DM me, and then I will send the gift out to you. But
so if you
as a thank you.
So the first 5 people that get a new subscriber to the channel can DM you, tell you who it is, and you'll send them a gift for that. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And we can check out the subscriptions right there. So, and our subscribers are going up. It's looking good, and people seem to like being here, like,
yeah.
And now with new content coming out, that's going to be exciting.
I know we've been on the live stream for a long while now. We're just waiting for one guest, and then
I know we still have a couple that said they're trying, so I don't know if they're going to make it or not, but
I know.
I think I'm concerned we're going to hit our wall with the length of the live stream, but hopefully we've got another minute or two, I think. See if anybody turns up. Yeah. But no matter what happens, I think it's been really awesome. And we did get Marco in here.
We did.
Technically, KZ got in here too. He was in here. Actually, he joined us a couple of times, if you want to look at it that way.
He did,
Yeah.
And we've always got the Zoom parties with KZ.
Yeah.
Always. So it's an ongoing process. The Zoom that we have, the private Zoom with a few people. That's how we connected with each other in COVID, and a lot of families did, and people, and that's how we kept ourselves safe. And we didn't really have much choice, and it was the only way we could connect. I think people find a way to connect, because it's not human nature to be alone, and one way or another we will find a way and communicate with each other. It's a shame that the internet servers don't feel the same way, isn't it?
I know. And that's definitely something that has changed since everyone's, gone into lockdown and things like that. And as we're coming out of it, a lot of technology has been applied all of a sudden, especially Zoom. I'll speak on Zoom directly because this is what I'm very familiar with right now. But when schools moved to virtual, there was such a huge sudden dumping onto these virtual platforms like Zoom, and even like Riverside is new-ish to me, but with Zoom especially, and Google Meets and stuff like that, the number of people that are using these has gone through the roof, and it's completely like wrecked the bandwidth and the experience, because they're just now finally starting to be able to handle the kind of traffic that they're starting to see. And even though a lot has changed with COVID and a lot has opened back up, people are going back to school in a lot of places. I think a lot of people are not going to go back to the traditional way, and we're going to stay virtual in a lot of cases. So these platforms are now starting to kind of ramp up their capabilities, and finally I'm seeing some improvement in some of the quality of the experience. But it's been a roller coaster with that stuff, especially with Zoom. There's constantly some kind of mishap happening that's like, with so many people using it at one time, and them not, well, I guess now they're starting to have like the capability to process that many users. But that was a huge giant thing to see happen, with all of the people getting on there online at once. And so much stuff we're doing online now is so much more convenient that I think a lot of people aren't going to stop doing it, So it's good to see him catching up finally. But
I saw Bobby's post. He's on set with Adam Sandler, and they, their schedules in the industry, they're not always set in stone. So you have to make changes, and it's okay, Bobby, we still love you. And you
things come up suddenly.
And that's important. He's working, and if you're on set, he's not going to go, sorry, you can just cut, because I'm going to go and do an interview. I'm just going to go on a live stream with Sam and Bonnie. And I'm like, that's exactly
get him to just take us around with him. That would be cool.
That's exactly what you should have done, Bobby. You should have told Adam Sandler, you know what, dude, you're just going to have to wait. I'm only joking, Adam.
Introduce you to my friends and say hello. Yeah, get Adam on here. Just tell him you're coming on. Bring him with you.
Tell him I loved his films. Yeah.
Yeah.
His films are pretty funny. What was the Grown-Ups? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that was
Who loves the Grown-Ups?
I really liked Jack and Jill. Did you see that one? Where he played himself and his twin sister.
I haven't seen that one. Sorry.
Oh my God.
I haven't seen every movie.
So funny.
I'm a music person. But
well, he's got music too.
So I know. The Grown-Ups, what's the Step Brothers. So apparently, I have to say this, because I love Step Brothers, one of my favorite movies ever, so Step Brothers have come out with not them personally, there's a prestige worldwide clothing line.
Yeah.
Because my son Jaden likes the clothing line and loves the movie. So when I went shopping for him to start high school as a freshman, he bought the worldwide prestige hoodie, and it's got the Step Brothers on the back and the shorts and yellow shorts. And I went, are you really going to wear these to school, Jaden? I mean, it looked like his shorts had an argument with his ankles.
Shoot, I'd wear it too.
Shorts had an argument with his ankles. Oh, okay.
I've seen a bunch of that stuff around lately. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Though. Yeah, that was a
it
really
is.
fun movie. I constantly quote it all the time, and of course the GIFs. How can I not?
Gifts,
GIFs,
gifs. So,
GIFs.
and Rachel says Big Daddy is my favorite Adam Sandler movie until the one he does with Bobby comes out, of course,
Of course.
because that will be definitely the best. Then I want to
Yeah.
ask Bobby what is it like to work with Adam Sandler because he seems so awesome. That was Sam. You'd have to ask him on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because I think he's filming right now. He's probably on set. So ask him what. Oh yeah, maybe not. I don't think he's allowed.
Maybe not.
Got to be
Well,
contracts.
He posted it though.
Oh no, he did mention it, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. So if he posted it, but Sam also brought up The Wedding Singer, which I really like. It's like one of my favorite ever movies. It's so funny.
Yes, yeah. I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah,
that film.
And 50 First Dates. Jackie said those are the top ones for me for
sure. Oh,
sure.
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah,
yes, and Adam Sandler. So that's an amazing film. I love that film. Yeah. Could you imagine that though? There is actually people that have it's a short-term memory. They've been in accidents and that happened.
Yeah.
You could stay married for the only scary thing was you'd be waking up every morning and you see yourself older in the mirror. How freaky would that be?
Yeah. And in the movie they had her go through pregnancy and everything, and it didn't show any of that.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, I know. You wake up, you're like, God, I'm really feeling like
no, I think it'd be more like
on.
How did this get here? And I don't remember anything.
How long was I asleep? You just have to like videotape your whole life to be able to just watch it anytime.
Yeah. That would definitely, but yeah, that would not be good.
Yeah, that'd be weird. Like hard to navigate.
And Craig's film, The Stooges, people have to watch that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's really good. Oh, and he was in Cinderella Man too. Mm-hmm. Cinderella Man with Russell Crowe. Yeah. Mm-hmm. My mom cried to that movie. See? I knew Craig and he didn't even know it. My mom's like, he's a mean man. I said, Mom, he's just an actor.
Yeah, a mean man. I've seen that.
I said, he's actually not. He's actually the opposite.
I've seen that, like, especially on Twitter, people are like yelling at actors and actresses for the characters that they played, for the things they did on the film and stuff. And they're like, I'm so sorry.
I remember Cusack once saying about the one film that he did, he says, you're not supposed to like him.
Yeah.
Frozen Ground. People were saying, he's forever, blah, blah. He says, you're not supposed to like him. I said, it's just a role.
A messed up one. That one was pretty messed up.
That was, well, it was a true story.
Yeah. But you know what? You like,
they're a great cast. They're a great cast. Yeah.
I feel like that's a sign of a good film too, when you watch it and you feel like you're in it, or you're still like angry at the person for what they did or something. You're like, how could you do that? Because you're still feeling what you felt. If the movie makes you feel it like that, that's good stuff. That's what I like to watch.
Actually, that's one of the questions. That's one of the things I've asked a lot in season 2, but you can watch the interview to find out.
All right.
And people talk a lot about a lot of artists have talked a lot about their feelings and with certain roles and stuff. Yes. So
that's
exciting. It's really interesting, their answers. Actually, because I was very intrigued.
Yeah.
How they go from role to role and somebody else, but I don't want to say too much because I want you to watch the interviews and their answers are amazing. I wish I'd
that's something to look forward to, because I always wonder like what they're thinking,
It's because they've all got their own thought process on that and
different techniques too. Yeah. Some like the differences with the like with the method acting and stuff, and you hear about like Johnny Depp wearing the Edward Scissorhands gloves around for 6 months and stuff like that, but then you've got people that just like jump into a role last minute and they're just in it right then and there on the spot, so, and you get good results in both ways. So it's really cool to hear how each person role, you know, and how they approach it like that.
He's waiting. He's waiting. Why can't he get in, Bonnie? Can you send me the date?
Yeah, let me
I don't see him waiting.
He's not in there. He might be in a different one. So let me try something for you. Okay.
Sorry to share this with you.
It's behind the scenes. That's what it's going on, really. It's a process video now.
I need that link.
Yep. Here you go. So there's a link in a DM in Twitter. If you can send him that one, that should bring him straight in here. We'll send him that exact one, and that should bring him straight in.
Poor guy's been sitting there waiting for me.
Oh my gosh!
And I said, "Don't" with a dint, because I always get the iron over. I hate my typos. You didn't do it. That's a Scottish accent. Didn't. When I get excited, I always typo, and I do the most horrendous typos ever.
Oh my god!
With Bonnie,
some of the best things in my life came from these typo incidents, though.
All she's done is put your glasses on. I'm like, oh, I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I did apparently.
Yeah.
Well, we all know somebody else that typos all over Twitter, but I won't mention any names.
Well, and I do my best not to.
Luckily, they're not in here.
I still do a lot of typos at times, but I cannot help myself from like going back and being like, oh, that's not what I meant, you know. And most of the time people are like, oh, I know what you meant, but I still have to fix it. I can't not tell you what I meant. I don't know. I'm working on that. It's kind of weird, but yeah. But those typos they're famous in some circles.
Yeah.
If you send him that exact one, he should be able to click straight through into here.
He's on his laptop.
That should still work fine. That actually probably will work easier as long as he's in Chrome. But if he got in, he's probably in a side studio. But I don't know how that keeps happening.
Yeah, I'm just.
But this is the one to go in. And
the trials.
Actually, we have another guest ready to come in real quick while he works on that.
He's gonna have.
Is he almost there?
They'll both be coming in at the same time. Yeah,
I know. That's what I'm saying. We can bring one in and then the other.
Ask him.
Okay, you get him in. All right. So, if he was able to get into the other link, he should be able to get into there too. But that's exciting. Now we have two, maybe.
Yeah. I'll tell John.
I got it.
Because Craig's been waiting, so yeah.
I can't believe he was like waiting all that time. I feel so bad. I don't know where he is now. I don't know where it has him waiting. There he is. All right, you ready? We got Craig.
Okay, let him in.
Okay.
I can't see him.
He's coming.
Okay, awesome.
Well, maybe. I clicked it.
Now what do I do? Can you hear me or see me? Can you see me and hear me?
Everybody! Hello, Craig.
Yay.
Oh my
How
God!
are you?
I'm
Sorry.
Why? Don't be British and apologize. It's all my fault. My God!
It's not your fault. It's a new system.
Well, no, it's technology. We're all troglodytes pretending we're not. But tell me, more importantly, how's my hair? Do I look heavy because I've been moving a lot?
Actually, you froze for a moment, but
I think I froze too.
Oh no, I didn't freeze. I was. It was a pretend.
Oh, okay.
I found that if you're having an uncomfortable moment with a woman, say on Zoom, all you have to. And they just turn it off. You just wait for them to turn it off.
I get the punchline.
We're men. We're very stupid. We really don't have any ideas. Oh, hello, 3 people watching. Are we the three people?
No,
Oh, no,
we don't. We're not.
people
being
are in
counted.
the.
There are actually a bunch of people in chat. I don't think that number's right because it's saying that there are people in the chat, but the viewer
Russian
count
bots.
is low. So
Russian
that's kind of
bots.
weird.
Let's throw you. I got no problem with Russian
Yeah.
bots at all. I'm all for
And
it.
I'm gonna listen to him.
My goodness.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna promote that Craig is in the chat.
Yeah,
All
let
right,
it go.
well-
Let it rip. I put some stuff that I was going to be on 7:30
Yeah.
on the Instagram. The next one would be Facebook and on the Twitter. Those are your three major platforms, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Craig.
I don't think Parlor.
Yes.
I didn't do Parlor.
No, we're not on there currently.
Okay.
Okay.
And
you
how
are
is
on
the lighting?
Facebook.
Am I washed out? Let's make everything.
You know what?
perfect.
You know what? You look. I know you've shaved and your hair looks shorter. It looks very nice, Craig.
No,
Was that from?
I shaved. It was like a drive-by shaving because I ran in. I ran in. I was at the market and I ran an electric razor across my face. And I tried to turn this on. Wasn't having much luck. Ran back, and if it turned on, I just would have looked like a maniac, and I probably still do.
Right.
'Cause
No,
I didn't get it
not.
all off. Well, we'll just do that anyway.
Well, it looks like special lighting and shading, you know.
Oh well, let's just go with that then. Where did Samantha go?
Shoot. Okay, we'll get it right back. This has happened a couple of
Okay.
times. I don't know why. It's
Okay.
I'm going
that
with
happens.
it being a Google issue.
Oh, that happens. That's okay.
And
Hold on
there we go.
one second.
It's in the
Hold on
middle.
1 second.
Okay,
Enjoy
sweetie.
my background. Enjoy my background.
I
That is
will.
amazing.
Where's Boo?
Oh
I'll
yeah,
bring
is
her
Boo
over.
gonna come in?
Come here. Yeah, come on over, Boo. Come here.
I'm gonna just say I'm gonna do it on Facebook too. Did you? Because I know I follow you on Facebook. Let's have a look.
Yeah. Here we go.
Join Boo. Hello.
Hello, Boo. Will you sit here with us? Will you
She's
spend time with us?
beautiful.
You stay here. I'll have your bed right here. And you can. What if you
Aw.
stayed? She's in her bed right here.
Is she
You're,
tired?
you're such a good girl. We just had a very long walk.
Did you?
Well, that's nice.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
old
And
is?
these stories are going to get more and more interesting, folks. Believe it
Yeah.
or not, buckle up.
Buckle up, Craig Bierko is here. I've just been telling them
Bierko.
all about your. I was telling them about how my mom cried to the Cinderella Man, and I said he's not really a mean person, Mom, because she watched your
You know,
film.
neither was Max. Max Baer was a very, very nice guy. He was closer to Dean Martin than they needed some guy who could stand up to the gladiator. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
That's quite a formidable thing. So that was kind of extensive. They needed somebody tall. They needed somebody who could act, but they also needed somebody who was willing to, train for 6 months. It was a tall order. I think at one point, and I don't know this for sure, and I don't know which role he was going to do, but at one point in that movie's development, it was Ben Affleck. I don't think he was playing Max. I think he was playing Russell's part, Russell Crowe,
Really?
who did a great job as Jim Braddock. I think a lot of people were. You'd find with a lot of movies and television shows, there were all kinds of first casts. I mean, I did a show called Unreal, which wrapped a couple of years ago. Completely different cast, I think, except for one or two people. It was on Lifetime, and they shot it. Everybody in it was great, but the tone was wrong. So they recast everything. They added a part, and so it's by the time it gets to your screen, it's usually been through a lot of incarnations, unless it's just a piece of crap and they don't care.
That can happen.
Now, can I say something? Samantha, you look like a demented Minnie Mouse
Minnie Mouse
right now.
the
Because,
heart. It's like
the
ears.
heart.
Yeah.
I
I
know.
know it's a heart, but I think you gotta go left or right with that heart. You gotta go Republican or Democrat with that heart, because if it's in the middle, you come out losing. Do you know what I mean?
Really? Do you think I should?
No, it's cute.
miniaturize-
Leave it like that. I actually like it. It actually, you're one of the few
Great.
people I've ever met where it actually suits your personality perfectly.
Thank you, Craig.
I mean, don't you think if don't you think, what does that mean? Somebody just accused me of that on a text. They say, I was very mad at this person, by the way, and they went, "You're such a Leo," and I almost punched my fist through the screen on the off chance it might go across the country and come out their screen and not come through the wall. What does that mean? You're such a Leo.
Actually, I'm a fire sign.
It depends. It depends what you were doing at the time, I guess.
Yeah, because you did.
I was eating them.
Alive.
I was eating them alive.
Well, no, I think that'd be more Scorpio, Bonnie's genre. Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you something about Scorpios. You're real mean people, aren't you?
No, we're just.
Okay.
I can only speak for myself and
Bonnie.
Some of the Scorpios I've encountered, but in my experience, I'm actually very nice and tolerant and patient, like incredibly patient. But I think the defining characteristic is that once you cross the specific line of said Scorpio, there's
no going back.
There's just nowhere to turn, I guess.
That's my mom. It's my mom, and I've dated a lot of Scorpios. So whether or not I'm a pretty honest person and I don't violate or do I don't break rules consciously, but I'm sure, someone has a rule they just don't bother to tell you about and wait for you to break it, and then they jump, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, that's more like a personality trait than a Scorpio trait, because I definitely make myself really clear to people.
Well, my mother's a Scorpio. She's my hero. But if you cross her, there's no going back.
Right.
And I remember once. I'll try to clean this up because she talks like this. She's the nicest person in the world, and she's a natural. Most of my family is in sales, so she's just, any company that hired her, their numbers would go way up. She worked for a company that sold conference center time around the world, so she'd travel around the world until she retired. Very, very successful at it. Very good at it. Natural. Just, one of those people, they walk into the room and everybody sort of leans towards them. They have they're magnetic. They have kind of a gravity to them.
Charisma.
Both my parents have that. It was really kind of amazing to see. They'd walk into a party and everybody would just drinks would spill, It was really funny. And now this is what happens after 50 is I forgot why I started telling you this. What were we talking about?
Oh, how calm and
you've been a Leo
until.
My mother's a Scorpio, and so my mother is the nicest person in the world, and very magnetic and very nice, and really doesn't have anything mean to say about anybody in front of them. But I had broken up with somebody, and it really wasn't their fault. I mean, and it wasn't my fault. It was just the natural end of a relationship. But try telling that to my mother. My mother, if I did a television show, a television pilot in 1991 that didn't get picked up, she won't watch the actors in that show
anymore.
Going on to it's ridiculous. It's just a mother who protects her. And she said something like, we were talking about this girl. And she said, well, somebody at the table, it was Thanksgiving, and somebody said, so what happened? And I told the story briefly, and my mother said, can I be a little dirty? Can I say a dirty word? Can I say a wee word? Can I say it?
Yes.
I'm asking.
Oh, yes, you can. I thought you were about your mom.
There's a phrase, and my mother.
You can say what you want.
My mother said, you know what? If I was walking down the street and she was on the other side of the street on fire, I wouldn't cross the street to piss on her.
Oh, no.
And that was not something my mother would say, but and I said, Mom, I believe you would piss on her. I think you go that extra mile. Yeah, I don't. In fact, I feel bad for the group of men who try to hold you back.
Right.
Yeah.
She's a tiger.
Anyway, that's my adorable little mom story.
I know you love your mom. You said in the interview. Yeah, you do. He does love his mom. He said he prays her. If you watch his interview, there's 2 of them, episode 1 and 2. He talks about his mom in part 2, and also about narcissists
Well, my mother's a hero. My mother. my mother raised two boys, two mastodons,
Yeah.
and that was before, you know, divorce became couture, or however you say it,
Trending.
became de rigueur. What is it, de rigueur? How do you pronounce it? Became so fashionable. Nobody was divorced. You got married
No.
very often for life.
Right.
Yeah.
So as soon as they got divorced, all the doors in the neighborhood shut, and my mother was just kind of on her own, had to figure it out for herself
Shame.
and raise us. And yeah, she was incredible.
That was
I could
awful.
go on and on.
Yeah,
I
that's
could go on and
awful.
on.
Because it was harder for them in them days because there was, you know, I'm not saying them days. I mean, you know, not. I mean, I'm divorced, obviously.
It's not a cakewalk now.
No,
Yeah.
but yeah, you know, but they never had the resources.
But there's therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy, therapy. You can do it on the phone. I mean, even with the pandemic. I mean, I was very worried for people who didn't have access to their psychiatrist, but you could Zoom. I was worried about, I was thinking, what's going to happen to the alcoholics who have to go to a meeting? There are people who go to meetings every day. And that human contact is very important.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? But, and I hope people have made it. I haven't read or heard anything about it. But
I know there's a. Oh, sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
It's okay, Bonnie. It's okay, sweetheart. You can go. It's okay.
Okay, I was just gonna say that I know that I've been seeing a lot about an app for people for like therapy and medication and things like that, and they have a 24-hour like chat service to be able to have to, you know, talk to someone anytime.
I think that's fantastic.
I think it's called Cerebral. It's a newer one that I've been seeing lately around. Yeah. But yeah, that's really important.
That's something that's just going to keep getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
And I also think, this is my own prediction, because there are new schools of psychology that sort of pop up. Some of them are madness, and some of them have elements of brilliance in them. You know, like it took. I mean, you could say, and it's true. World War II, terrible thing. Concentration camps, probably the darkest choice human beings ever made against any other human being. And yet, Viktor Frankl, if you haven't read Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, I think it's called logotherapy, but he developed a whole school of therapy based on his experience at Auschwitz. I think it was Auschwitz. I think that was a camp. And what it was, the principle was that, you know, they give you basically a piece of bread for the day, and they put you to work. And he decided, okay, every time I finish a task, I get a pinch of bread, and I must save 10% to give to somebody else at the end of the day. And that was the rule. That's where it started. And it was this idea of, and Alcoholics Anonymous is very much the same thing, is you help yourself by getting out of your head and trying to help the person sitting next to you.
Right.
And I think that's fascinating. And I think with this new technology, you know, with iPhones, and I think it's just the birth of all this stuff. I mean, I walked into Samsung the other day. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. They have a store down in the village with new Samsung products that aren't even on the market yet.
Really?
But smart. They have smart homes, and some of it's kind of scary.
Yeah,
but,
I was gonna say,
you know, I don't want a smart home. I don't want my home to have any kind of intelligence.
I got an iPhone.
Anything. I'd like it to be slightly retarded. Huh?
I don't even want it to answer me when I talk to it.
I got an iPhone.
Not what I wanted.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to my house. I had one of those Siri, one of those box things that has, you know, you Siri lights, and they go, turning your lights on, whatever that was.
I know,
and then I heard the story that, like, if you were talking about somebody, did you hear that story about a couple was talking about another couple, and they were gossiping about them, saying, can you take them? And it took their name and called them.
Oh no!
And they heard the whole conversation. That's a nightmare. But it's not like, first of all, I live with a dog, so it's not like, what am I going to do?
What are you going to do, boo?
You know, dog, and you know, Rover from down the hall can't even dial. He doesn't have a thumb. And so I'm not worried about that, but the technology seemed a little frightening.
Yeah.
But I think certain ideas and the technology are going to mesh, and I think therapy is one of those things that are going to develop. And I wouldn't be surprised if between whatever the iPhone becomes or smartphone becomes and whatever therapy becomes is, I think they're going to kind of, it'll be they'll kind of mesh together, and this new, whatever the new psychology or new school of psychology that comes out of it wouldn't have been possible if this hadn't happened, or if the pandemic hadn't happened and made it necessary for people. Anyway, I'm very, very boring.
You're not. No. You're not boring at all. You're right. It's a ripple effect, because, I know this sounds awful, but I think I read somewhere, and this is horrible for me to say this, but the torture that was going on in the camps was violently horrible, especially to the women that were pregnant, and they performed cesarean sections, and that's how they perfected cesarean sections with no anesthesia either, and probably both killed baby and mother. But
I don't remember I'm sorry.
No, carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on.
I used to love those movies, by the way.
Carry On movies, weren't they funny?
Oh yes.
Carry
You get a little
buses.
glimpse.
Oh my gosh, they're my favorite growing up with my grandparents.
As a little boy going through,
Right,
pre-adolescence, it didn't
Barbara
matter
Walters.
whether it was enjoyable. I didn't require a story. I was just waiting for a woman to come running out of a shower with a little towel.
I know, right?
But anyway, and who is the British actor who was always the lead? He was very fey, but he always played the one who was incredibly attracted to his...
Craig, I'm terrible with names.
Great.
I can't remember his name.
Sir Richard, whatever.
There was
Brilliant.
a few of them.
Yeah.
Stan was the one, and then Barbara Walters. I remember the lady Barbara Walters. But
Barbara Walters, really? Not our Barbara Walters. Well, they're all gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then the women from the Hammer film. Weird
See,
fetish.
I probably got the name wrong.
Gorgeous.
Yes. I said I probably got the name
anyway,
wrong.
let's
really
get
bad.
out of my sexual deviance and start talking about something useful.
No, I think we should stay right here. Oh, I'm only joking.
Okay, perfect.
It's absolutely perfect. I love Benny Hill, and On the Buses. You have to watch On the Buses.
Yeah, I love Benny Hill. A lot of this with the fake arms.
I know. And then the man with the top
And
of the
then
head.
the fast, the wacky sax. The wacky sax. I was trying to find the right, back in the early 90s, I was trying to find an antidepressant. They had just come out with Prozac. And that was my fear, was that I would take something and just hear wacky sax all the time. Like, I'm too happy.
I know. Did you see that YouTube come out with, sorry to bring him up, it was the Queen, and it's against the law to talk, because Craig and I were in the interview, and we've both been watching The Crown, right? And we were talking. Yes. Craig was talking about how the Queen, he could envision her as being, as sitting there like a grandma and drinking a cup of tea and being all nice, and how it showed a different perspective of her life. Actually watching The Crown. I had no idea.
I never considered for a moment that she was anything but a mob boss. Well, that's America. You believe whatever, I wasn't there to see, and we didn't have the daily,
yeah,
or not daily, but didn't she would get on TV every once in a while, and
Christmas.
I didn't understand the purpose either, that it was, I'm not sure I still understand it, but it seems to me it's like you've got the government, and then you've got this live soap opera that the people can get involved with, and it keeps the riffraff out bothering the government from doing their business.
Right.
That's what it always felt like to me, but I'm sure that's not true. But I always thought that would be a great idea for this country. And then I thought, we have it. It's the Kardashians. That's our royal family. That was our royal family. We're so concerned with what's happening with, what is it, Chloe or Barbie or Tootsie or whatever. We're so worried about that. Meanwhile, there are people who are, have no whatever. We're finally addressing infrastructure and all that stuff, but for years ignoring infrastructure, and all anybody was talking about was, can you believe how big her ass is, and yet how beautiful? I couldn't wrap my mind around it. That was one I never got. The Kardashians, I never got.
No, I know.
Also, I don't think but your royal family, at least our royal family, they got there through pornography. Yours got there through
bloodline,
millennia of murder.
Right.
I don't think
Yes.
the Kardashians killed anybody. I don't think.
No. And
Can
she did.
And if that,
she
and
did.
if they did, it was probably just a handful of people.
Sam, can I ask him a question from earlier?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
He has a name. He
Yes.
has a name.
Oh, I realize. May I
Craig.
ask Craig a question from earlier?
Mr. Bierko will be fine.
I
You know,
wanted
Mr.
to-
Craig Bierko. Mr. Craig Bierko. That's a Steve Martin.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, Mr. Craig Bierko, earlier we were having a discussion about some charities and pet adoption, and Boo came up, and we wanted to hear about that. Do you want to tell us about Boo?
Should I adopt her?
No, like
It's never been official. Where'd she go? Oh, she went back over to the couch.
Talking about the charities and some of the work you've done with Loma Linda and how Boo got involved with that. And so I was wondering if
I don't think she's even aware of it, but she did get involved. Yeah. I think she's just like food, going to the bathroom, food, petting, going to the bathroom. No, she is actually a strangely special soul. I just bought a piece of art, very small, and the guy who was selling it noticed Boo and just was asking all sorts of questions. And it's not uncommon. There was one guy. My favorite was there was a guy across the street, came running across the street, and he said he was colorblind, and he said, "Your dog is glowing."
That's pretty cool.
And it didn't surprise me at all. He said there's just kind of a hue around it, because she really does pull them right off the street, you know, and is such a great ambassador for life, really, that when I went to Loma Linda the first time, it was really just to do my cousin a favor. She works for an organization called I think it's Big Hearts for Little Hearts or Desert Hearts or something like that. But her name is Dale Rotner, and she's an extraordinary human being. And I went to Loma Linda, which is far enough away from Los Angeles that it's out of the celebrity beltway. So that's where people like me come in, you know. So I was going to have some pictures taken there. And it just happened to be that my show got canceled the day before. I was doing a show called Unhitched. We called it Unwatched. And it got canceled. And I'm driving through the desert. Did I tell you this story?
No, you didn't tell me this one.
I was driving through the desert.
Not yet.
And I thought of it's the first line in Carrie Fisher's book, Postcards from the Edge, which is one of her greatest, where she's filming a movie in Beirut. And she gets outside, she looks, and it's like war-torn Beirut. She said, "Finally, the outsides match the inside."
You did, and that's what I was sorry. He did.
Yeah. Isn't that a great line?
Yeah.
She was brilliant. And I was driving through the desert and thinking, the outsides match the insides. I didn't know that I wanted to do this anymore. I was in my mid-40s. And one had nothing to do with the other. I was going to the hospital to do a favor. It just seemed like a pain in the neck. And then I had this feeling like, I don't really feel like I was so driven at the beginning of this. I think a lot of people are. It was initially in high school, it was to get girls, probably college too. And then actually, it's still about getting girls. It's still about getting girls. I don't know why. That's the one thing that hasn't deviated.
Thank you for your honesty.
You're welcome. But what did change was any need to have. Most people's jobs their office doesn't involve hundreds of people staring at them. That's what an actor is like. You're successful if a whole room full of people are staring at you while you pretend to be somebody else with like a dead Russian woman's hair on your head. You know, it's actually kind of ridiculous. And what you have to go through, you know, the audition process, and you have to learn to dance with rejection and all that kind of stuff. And it just all started to get tiring, and I wasn't liking the material I was doing and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I went into the hospital, and I won't belabor that, but I did see some extraordinary things, and some of it was quite painful and heart-wrenching to look at. and it was all pediatric. But what I walked away with was these people. I suddenly was aware of, I'm driving a really nice car, complaining about the fact that I don't like my job as much as I used to. These guys were holding infants, and they're standing in the trenches between life and death, and they're just trying to carry as many as they can over into life. And I walked out of there. I had a bunch of special experiences there, a bouquet of them. But I walked out and I got into my car and I started crying, just crying. And I called my mom, and because I realized I can't be a doctor. It's too late for that. And that would be the worst. That would be a blight on humanity. We don't need me as a doctor. Hey, nurse, did you hear the one? Whoops, sorry.
Don't do
but
that.
I did think I can pimp my famous friends, because I never ask for favors, and I've got a lot of famous friends. And that's exactly what I did. And I called my mom and I said, don't let me forget this, because next Thursday, I'll be onto something new. That's just the way my mind works. And she didn't, but she didn't have to. I put together with the help of a show called Celebrity Autobiography, which is a play here in New York. Which is just celebrities getting up and reading from other people's celebrity autobiographies. And it's that silly and very funny and easy, because that just meant you can come in, read through it once, and then just get up in front of people. And that was going to be our benefit. And I just thought, well, I'll just start at the top. I'll call people and see if they say yes. Called Fred Willard. Of course I'll be there. Lorraine Newman. Of course I'll be there. Matty Perry. Of course I'll be there. Ryan Reynolds. Of course, Ryan Reynolds was promoting a movie, changed the promotion schedule so that he could make it there and then fly out that night. That's the kind of guy Ryan Reynolds is.
Nice guy, yeah.
That's cool.
A lot of people are advertised as being as nice as Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is actually as nice as Ryan Reynolds. He may even be nicer than Ryan Reynolds, which isn't physically possible, but I think it's true.
Craig, you're a nice guy too. You're a nice guy too.
I'm not saying I'm not a beautiful person. I'm just saying that I'm beautiful enough to admit and acknowledge and beautiful people recognize other beautiful people. That's all.
Yeah.
He's very special, and it inspires me in many, many ways. But mostly it's his ability to understand where fame is valuable, that kind of fame. It's as big as it gets. What his responsibility is when he has that kind of fame, also the shelf life of it, which can be a life or it can end tomorrow. So he does things that are important to him, but he does things to sustain that. And he realizes that there's Ryan Reynolds, the person, and then there's Ryan Reynolds, the corporation, which is representing a whole team of agents and producers and studios. And I worked with him on a movie called The Change Up, and got to spend a few days with him after he had become a huge celebrity. And the only change that I noticed was his focus was so laser sharp that it literally wouldn't have occurred to me to cross his path because I'd be cut in half. It was, I think he was producing and all this stuff, but he also was just even if he was just acting in it, his focus was laser sharp. So just being in a scene like that it's amazing. He's endlessly inspiring, and you should get him on your show.
I don't know how to. I'll have to try and contact his publicist. I don't want to do it publicly, because I was just having that conversation. I was just talking about that, how I don't want to ask people publicly, because then it puts them in an awkward situation, and maybe they're busy.
It does. I understand.
And they don't, right? And I asked you privately in DM.
Yes. Well, there's certain people. Whose favors. What do you do? Oh, a friend of mine wrote a children's book that I've known since kindergarten. Her name is Laura Brown. She wrote, what's it called? What's the Trillium Sisters? Great series of children's books. If you're looking for something for people between the age of 4 and I think like 7. Okay. I'm 57. I enjoyed it. But it's
So it's for everyone.
magic, and it's a lot of fun stuff. It's female centric, very empowering, very beautiful. I'm very proud of her. She was a child psychologist, and then she started working in the entertainment industry, and then she became an author, and that's incredible. But I did, I said, let me get my friends who have famous people who have children who are of that age, and it's a very hard thing to do. And almost, I think all of them said they'd be happy to, and about 3/4 of them came through. Some didn't, just because they have a million things going on.
Right, exactly.
And
They're
so
busy.
it literally is, and you don't want to be the person who keeps calling and reminding.
Right.
So sometimes it falls through the crack, and that happens too.
Yeah.
But with other people, it's rare. And some people you can't get mad at them because you know how busy they are. They're trying to hold this whole corporate. They're the Beatles basically, and you're just saying, can you tell everybody how much you enjoy this mint? This is a good mint. Will you?
I know.
That's what
I know. I don't like bothering people, but I mean.
Well, it's not bothering people. Plus, you have to remember that what you're doing is what they're seeking, because you actually have something that they want, which is publicity.
Oh.
So it's not like you're bothered. It's not like you're saying, "Will you cook dinner for me?" It's I'd like to spread the word. Now, someone like Ryan might be a tough elk to take down, but there are plenty of people who are at my level, below that, a little bit above, whatever it is, who, or they've just written a book. Speaking of which,
did you just write one?
A great guy. What's that?
Did you just write one?
No, I'm writing one, but David Steinberg, Inside Comedy. Fantastic book, Inside Comedy.
He loves these books.
Vincent D'Onofrio wrote a book during the pandemic. What's it called? Mother. He wrote a book of poetry.
Oh,
crazy great,
I like
really, really terrific. And my high school English teacher is named Bill Johnson, and he wrote a book called Right Time, Right Places. And it's a fantastic story of a guy who began his career as a teacher at Yale. What was it called? Was it the May Day? It was right around the time Kent University, the massacre at Kent University happened. I think it was called May Day. Anyway, he witnessed it. It was at the end of the 60s. He was a hippie and came to work at my high school, which was very progressive.
Aww.
And so he wrote this terrific book about it's not just about my high school, it's about his whole career and trying to reform education, which really needs it. He's one of the good guys, Bill Johnson. Follow him on Facebook, by the way.
Okay.
Bill with one L, or Wilbur Johnson.
Wilbur.
But yeah, he is just a really great guy. All of my teachers, I was really blessed. But we went to a high school. He explained it to us in class one day. All of the ceilings were all the windows were floor to ceiling. And he said that was because they didn't want any of the students to feel that their size was diminished by the high school, which is the way they're usually built. The windows start here and go up to the ceiling. That's the way prisons are built, to diminish you in size.
Yeah.
And make you feel smaller than you actually are, keep everything in order. Whereas ours was expansive. And I walked out, and believe me, I was not a good student. I was not a good, naturally gifted student. But I walked out of there with such a appropriate sense of entitlement. And I think a lot of it had to do, certainly, with teachers like Bill. So strange still to call him Bill. But fantastic teachers. They still come to see me in plays. I'll go backstage, and then all my teachers will be there. My first reaction is, Jesus, because it's like that nightmare that you haven't finished a test yet. But my math teacher, I was so horrible in math that I think I asked my algebra teacher what the capital of algebra was. Like that was my level of talent. She still comes to see. They're just great people.
Oh, well, you must have made an impression, Craig, and you still are.
Are you commenting on my weight?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
No.
How's your show going? Are you enjoying it?
I really am. I just went to an Emmys nomination party as a +1 with friends, and I feel very blessed because I've never been to any such party before, and it was all new, and I feel so blessed, and everyone was so nice to me.
Oh,
and
good.
Yeah.
And
so
did you get to talk to? Did you interview anybody or make any inroads?
I did. Christina De Rosa. I just done an interview with her at 1:00 today. And Gloria. There's Danny. Danny Aurora. I'll say his name wrong. He's
Oh,
tell me
okay.
off.
Yes.
And then Anna Maria Di Mara. She's a lovely, and Gloria Guraria. I'm terrible with names. Meredith Thomas. She's lovely.
Nice.
Yeah, she's lovely.
That's what it's all going to those. I mean, you can see also the people who are in your position.
Ron
I know
Roget.
some people who are doing.
Yeah.
Who?
Ron Roget. He was in
great.
Stranger Things. You know him? Yeah. So he's.
No, I don't know why I reacted that way. Oh yeah, I have no idea who he is.
You're like, oh yeah. No, I don't.
Well, I don't know why people do that. Why am I lying? Why would I lie about knowing that person?
You don't lie, Craig.
Maybe you're nervous.
I can tell because my instinct tells me that you don't.
No, I don't lie.
You're
that
you're that honest that people are scared.
the number of times, and it doesn't always work for me, because the number of times I could have said, yes, I took care of it, and then I could have woken up early in the morning, gotten it done before the boss noticed. I said no, I didn't do it, and so there's a 3-hour argument that I easily could have avoided if I just lied. But I don't lie. I've never lied. I've always been uncomfortable.
Right.
I've been wrong, but usually if somebody, I have in the middle of an argument picked up such a head of steam where you're right, you're moving like a locomotive, and you're like, this is great. Yeah. I'm like F. Lee Bailey. I'm like, listen to me, and then they point something out, and your whole argument falls apart. And I can actually go, you're right, I'm wrong, I'm an idiot. I think that's actual strength.
Yeah,
that
it is
admitting more
admitting
than anything.
Me too.
I agree totally.
Well, I think when we realize we're wrong, and then if we admit it, rather than arguing about it for 3 hours that we're right and not quite sure. Like if I don't know something, I usually just be quiet. I'll be like, because I don't know.
Boy. Yeah, that's not the way we do things here. The less you know, the louder you get. That's what we've learned the last 4 years. The less you know, the louder you get.
Yeah, I'm just going to stay. If I don't know something, I'm just going to be quiet. And if I do, then I'm going to voice my opinion. Yeah, in a proper manner, right, Bonnie? Not on a live stream where we've got the gag reel. We can't do the gag reel. We've got quite a few gag reels. So Bonnie's my producer, and she's been and the Scorpio. I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm a fire sign. So we're fire and water, but she's been a strength. Her and Husky. Without them, Chatbox with Sam wouldn't have been where it is now, and that's why I wanted for Bonnie to come on the show.
Good,
Husky's,
and thank you for inviting me to be a part of it.
Oh gosh,
I'm happy to help you launch it.
You're awesome. You were my first guest, and it was really nice. And I've been watching you on Twitter for a long time. Don't tell anyone though; they might think
No, you've been very kind to me on Twitter.
I know
you have been.
I have. Well, I don't want to be anything else. That's probably why I'm doing a chat show, because that's why I think
that's a good thing.
On my chat show.
I'm developing one myself, believe it or not.
You
heard it here first. You heard it here first.
You did. That's awesome. Tell us about it.
We're working it out. I can't.
Oh.
I can't, unfortunately, but I can whet your appetite a little bit. But I'm very excited about it.
That you'll be awesome at it.
Yeah, keep us updated. We want to know.
I certainly will. I will.
Yeah, don't give up. I mean, there's lots of. I know with Bonnie and I, that's the thing. We like asking Ryan Reynolds. They don't know me. This is a brand new show. I mean, with you, you've already got an audience. With me, it's hard to build an audience when no one knows who you are. But with you, But with you,
keep
don't
going.
Give up. Yeah, I'm going to. I'll try my best. But with you, just if you feel like you're having a slow month and it's difficult to get people and just don't give up. Just keep on it.
Joe,
Just
you
don't
keep
give
going.
up. Just
No.
keep going. Yeah.
Well,
and you
I'm
too.
the guy who had a show a while back. It was on. We did one of them, and we actually did two of them. It was called Bathing with Bierko, and
Yes. John Malkovich.
John Malkovich, and we shot another one with another person, equally as big, but we realized that the formula of the show was, you can't have your shirt on, you can't be in your clothes in the bath, and this celebrity didn't feel comfortable doing that. It was a guy, but he didn't feel comfortable doing that, and so we couldn't use it. But I have an hour, and it was hilariously funny, really big name, but he didn't want to do it. And so that's for me why I love the format of just is the simpler the better. I mean, there's somebody that I'll be doing it with, so I'll have like there'll be the two of us. That's what I like. So there's always a conversation going on, and then between the two of us, I think we'll get guests. But for Bathing with Bierko, the ratio of asking for guests and getting them was like 2,000 to 1.
Yeah.
Because who wants to do that?
They don't want to get in the bathtub, especially naked.
The letter started with, "Hi, my name is Craig Bierko. Please don't do this." Because that's how ridiculous it was.
Well, then I guess a lot of people gave you some credibility right off the bat by following your advice.
That is true.
Craig was there with the loofah, and John was sitting behind him. John Malkovich.
No, he was in front of me.
Oh, was he? I'm sorry. My mind stopped around.
Luge style. The bath was too small for either one of us.
I haven't seen that. I'm gonna go look that up.
It's funny.
That sounds hilarious.
I might. It's very hard to find. I may put it back up on YouTube, but I took pretty much all. I think you can find it. You may be able to find it on Vimeo. Search Vimeo. I think I have a copy of it on Vimeo, or I'll unlock it anyway so you can look at it.
Okay.
But it's pretty funny, and I did want to do more if I could figure out like why.
Right.
There were people who wanted to do the show. They wanted it to be an actual show, and I thought, why? Because it's that's the joke. It's been done already. So all it would be is just, and there are limitations, obvious limitations. But we wanted to find a way, and then eventually, for other reasons, I dismantled it. It was mainly just a disagreement between myself and another guy who was helping me with it. And but it is something I want to bring back one of these days, as long as the situation is right. And we shot it in Carrie Fisher's home, and Billy still owns the home, but I don't know if the bathroom is still there. So I'd have to rebuild that bath because it was perfect.
Right.
That bath was perfect.
The small bathroom.
Oh, I'm sure you could recreate it for sure.
Yeah. And there were people that we told that to. There was one studio that said, we'll rebuild it. They really wanted to. I couldn't believe it. But the situation wasn't right. And it wasn't, and then they would have power and they could make it a bubble bath. And I knew that it was only funny if it was just as awkward as it could be. That was the whole. Shouldn't be anything with that. So, anyway, enough about that.
Oh, that's awesome. And oh gosh, and I'm excited now about your show. I'm all from promoting and supporting.
Well, we're right in the beginning stages, but we did decide, this person and I, that it was a natural fit. And now what we're going to do is, I don't know how you guys did this, but I like to do like a proof of concept, like, have some rehearsals. So we'll get some friends, we'll interview them, and find the format of the show and get our mojo working. And then when we're ready, we'll do it. But we'd like to start as soon as possible. We'll probably tape we'll start taping those versions of it in the next couple of weeks. And then hopefully we'll have it. I don't know. What am I supposed to? You expect somebody to say, and then by Christmas, we have no projected date.
Just
when it's right, we'll do it.
Yeah, that's what Bunny and I did actually. We were just talking about it, and we'd done live streams with obviously Corin Nemick before and Husky. So, but when we decided to do this chat box with Samuel, I decided, and Bonnie was on board, and we chose for her to be the producer. I just went in deep with it. I just tried to contact a few people, and I had the Black Water Blues
Right.
cast, of course. And then I asked you. I said, I'm going to ask Craig Bierko. I was really nervous, and then when you came,
Oh, really?
I was really
that's so
I was
sweet.
really nervous about asking you, and then I was really nervous on the show, and I remember you saying, "You're nervous," and you went, Elvis Presley was nervous on a show, and he admitted it.
Yes.
He was very humble.
There's footage of him talking. It's the most
Yeah.
charming thing in the world. Are people? Everybody. First of all, everybody gets nervous unless they're
Right.
mentally ill. But everybody gets nervous, and I think you get better at learning how to manage it. But
Right.
I don't think it goes away. And there,
No.
if you watch the George Harrison episode of the Dick Cavett show, that's fascinating for a lot of reasons, because the Beatles had just broken up, so a lot of the wounds are kind of fresh, and he gets a little sarcastic. It's interesting, but he talks about being nervous on the show, and he's so in touch with himself. He was like trying to locate where he why
Right.
was he nervous? He'd played everywhere. And why was he? It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know, I don't trust anybody who says that they have the cure for it. I think it's just you manage it.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think there is any cure for it. And I think we spoke about that before, Craig. There isn't one, you know.
Yeah.
You use it. It propels you.
just have
It
to
is
absorb.
energy.
Yeah. Just absorb it for
energy.
what it is. Yes. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of it comes from feeling prepared. If you feel like you know what to expect, then it's more manageable. But like, especially something new, it's
Yeah,
like,
you
I don't know
don't.
what's going to happen. It's going to be fine. You know?
Well, it's also true that like the more you guys talk and prepare for show, even though you might be scared because you're meeting somebody you've never met or blah, blah, blah. But I remember I was about to do a play. It was a musical, and I was terrified. And a friend of mine said, there's no pill you can take. There's nothing you can do. The only way to deal with how scared you are is rehearsal. So rehearse and then go home and rehearse again.
Yeah.
And just don't make that part of your life fun. Decide it's not going to be fun, and you just go over and over and over it. So when I'm at my best, I can do that. But that's a hard piece of cake to eat, because hard piece of cake to eat. What a horrible.
Break your teeth.
I wasn't going to say anything.
That was dumb.
No, it happens. It makes sense, though. I like it.
I have some concrete cake in the oven. It's the harder route. It's the harder route because it's truly unpleasant. But I happen to know. I think Anthony Hopkins talked about he struggled with just the drudgery of learning your lines. It's pure drudgery and it's pain. And what he would do is he'd draw a circle, and then he'd draw a line, another line, until he had a pie with thin slices. And he drew that on top of every page. And he'd go through all of his lines, color in one pie, go through all of his lines, color in another piece of pie. And until he had the entire pie filled, he wasn't allowed to go to the next page. And that's how he'd learn his lines, so that he knew them backwards and forwards by the time he got on the set. That's the guy I want to be. Because I have lost. There was one job a couple of years ago that I lost. The lines were, the role didn't make sense to me. The role didn't make sense to me. And the writer wasn't really available. And I don't think I didn't know whether my character was alive or dead. And I don't think the author did either. So the playwright. So I had a lot of trouble connecting my lines. But I also didn't take that extra few hours after rehearsal if I would work. And I thought, I'll use the previews to learn them. But I got fired because I had trouble. I had trouble with it. And that was another great reminder of I'll never go into a show again without knowing my lines backwards and forwards, which a lot of people don't do. But that's the best way to work.
And that's another thing that happens. The more you do it, you start to pick up those tricks that make you more comfortable, like memorizing or writing stuff down. And then it gets
right. Exactly. For some people, they'd rather learn their lines. This is the way I usually work. And it was easier when, this had a lot of stuff to it, but usually if it was like a sitcom or just a half an hour, it was better. And the lines changed throughout the week. So it almost wasn't worth memorizing them. But you kind of learn like, oh, when I'm standing there, I say that line and then I travel over here. It starts to make sense. You kind of map it in your mind and it's all of one piece. But with So it's harder to memorize things without knowing what the set's going to look like, who the other actors are, but
Right.
it's very helpful to at least get a start on it. But
Yeah.
this started with, you talking about being frightened. Is there's no answer other than closing your eyes and just visualize yourself having the interview. If you can imagine yourself having the interview, you've already done it. If you can do that once, you're going to be that much less nervous.
Surprised. Yeah.
And if you can do it 10 times, if that becomes a habit, you'll find it will change your life.
Yeah, it is. I've got a lot. It was a lot easier as time went on. But you were so lovely anyway, Craig, that I was nervous at first because I'd never met you, obviously, and just spoke with you on social media, which, social media is social media.
Yeah.
So you still get nervous, and you're so nice.
Oh,
so
it's
nice
completely
funny and very relaxed. You're an amazing actor. I'm really joking.
Oh. Well, it was nice. That wasn't acting.
I know.
This is acting.
No. I thought I'd throw a funny in. It doesn't happen very often, so just clap.
Oh, very good.
Yay!
Yay! I'm Irish. I'm going to clap at myself. Yay! That was awesome.
I do it all the time.
It's the Irish. It's what we do. We laugh at our own jokes.
No, I do that a lot, actually. I laugh before I even tell the joke. I can't get it out because I start laughing already before I start talking because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, listen,
That's not good.
She does. She does do that.
Yeah, that's not good. That's telegraphing.
I love it.
Bonnie,
it's part of me.
Bonnie and I met on Twitter 11 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, happy anniversary.
Oh,
yeah. Well, it
almost is actually.
And now she's been to my home.
Us.
She's been to my home and stayed in my home. 10 years ago, we've been to Las Vegas, been in LA, Florida, Mississippi, Alcatraz. She loves Alcatraz. So,
okay.
Yes, that's friendships can form from social media. Is my point.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Because we're just human beings, apart from the bots and trolls. But
That's right.
Well, some trolls are there unless they're on the, But So, and I'm really interested about this show now. If you need any help, just let me know.
Oh, we're pretty covered, but thank you. I'm not nervous about it, but I'm very eager to just sort of jump into the water because there's an element of it that's you can figure everything out in the structure but there's really not. It's very simple. Really, what you have to do is we need to get into a studio and tape a few of them. That's what we need to do and see what we've got, and then start shaping it from there.
That's true.
I have a good feeling about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Well, I'll help promote it on Twitter anyway. So
great.
And Facebook.
Thank you.
Instagram. You're welcome. Right. You're welcome. So, you talking about your lines. I remember. It's funny how some things that I don't know how you'd remember all them lines. I think I'd forget at least a few of them, a lot of them. But I remember in Long Kiss Goodnight, it was a very intense part where you were looking at Gina Davis and she had the daughter and you were going to kill her or something. She goes, look in her eyes. And you looked at the child's eyes and I was like, oh, that's his daughter. But not really, but in the movie,
Well, that was amazing casting, wasn't it? That's an actress named Yvonne Zima. She's a wonderful actress, and has two sisters. Another one is an actress, Madeline Zima. Whoops, and I think was on Californication and all that. And but Madeline, and I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the name of their other sister, who's also very talented. But Yvonne, is a writer too, and she's very talented. And I can't remember the name of the project, but I know she's constantly. I think that's where her main focus is. But she's still. I mean, they all grew up to be these like terrifyingly beautiful women, and very funny. They're all so funny together, the three of them. I mean, somebody very smart should build a show around them. But it was so nice at the beginning of the pandemic. I reached out to her. We hadn't really, maybe once or twice, but I don't really remember. But in passing, just reached out, you know. I had seen something that they made on Instagram because the three of them will often do like a funny story or something on Instagram. It's uniquely funny, only they could do it. It's three sisters being hilarious together, or two, or whatever. And it made me think, oh, I should call her, see how she's doing, and I did. And it took us a while to get in touch, but we had such a lovely chat. And I don't have I love my nieces, and try to spoil them with stuff. I'll send them money on Venmo, and then just say, I'm literally trying to buy your affection. I don't want there to be any confusion. I'm trying to buy your affection.
That's Scott's daughters.
And then that's right. And but I can't help it. That was such a big moment for me, and I adored working with her. She was such a good, smart little actress, and she was beautiful. And I thought the casting was amazing, because if I had a kid, I think that's pretty much what it was. We had these giant 8-pound eyeballs, and it made for a very effective moment in the movie. And anyway, I'm just so glad that I'm still in touch with her. She's such a sweetheart. And she's somebody that you should talk to. I'll be happy to try. She's fascinating, and her sister would be so, because they're hilarious together.
Yes, please. I would like to interview them. I was going to ask you if you'd speak to your friend too. Oh gosh, I came on,
but not in
podcast with her.
Well, ask me offline. Ask me who? What's that?
Okay. What's her name? I can't remember her blooming name. She was in Chevy Chase. Oh God, you were on a podcast, and I came on there. Beverly D'Angelo. I'd love
Beverly
to interview
D'Angelo.
her.
Yeah.
I know you're friends with
she's
her.
just hilariously funny.
I know. I'd love to
People
interview
don't know.
her.
People have no idea how funny she is.
No, because I don't know her. But
I can send you a list of people. We can talk offline.
Okay.
There's a bunch of
appreciate
people.
That. Craig, you're so awesome. I'll send you a drink.
I know. I mean, thank you.
Yeah, if I ever see you in New York or Los Angeles, I'll buy you a drink.
Oh, great. Those days are over, but I drink liquids.
H2O.
To keep the inside of my body moist, but I don't drink. But
good job. Yeah. I do. I like wine, but that's okay. Yeah,
good for
I
you.
do. Yeah, gotta have a nice. Actually, my favorite is a Zinfandel. I like red Zinfandel.
Oh. I like a nice thimble full of heroin.
Well,
and Craig just went dark. Craig's humor, it's awesome. I'm sure he must have. I know he doesn't, but you don't have any Irish in you, do you, Craig? No, Bierko,
I don't think so. I think I'm British, Hungarian, Polish, Russian, Jewish. Mm-hmm. Labrador Retriever,
American Pie,
and some pie. I'm sure some pie was involved at some point. Yeah.
Well,
I'm blushing. Hang on. Oh silly. Sorry. 51 and blushing, and I've had 3 kids.
Blush is a nice color. That's all right.
Right, I'm nearly as pink as my shirt.
Oh, communist. Okay, there you go. Oh, you want to see? Did you see this? Can you see this?
Boo! Don't look. What?
Can you see?
Is that you? Oh,
that's me.
Oh,
that's me at Camp Androscoggin.
Look how light your hair was.
Oh yeah. Well, I had quite a wig maker. No, people used to go up to.
You do have a full head of hair, Craig. I
got a full head of hair. That's not something I'm going to lose. But my people used to go up when I had hair like that. People used to stop my mother and say, "Who frosts his hair?" Frost. Well, that was what they used to. Which I guess was something they used to do, right?
Yeah, that was the thing for some time. I feel like it's going to come back any minute now. I just know it.
Frosting. I'd love to put frosting in my hair. Chocolate, butterscotch. Right. Walk around. It's.
I just have spray gray. Yeah, because we all go grey, right?
Oh,
So-
I'm pretty gray. I'm pretty
You don't
gray.
look it.
Yeah.
No, not
Well,
really.
when I wet it back,
But it suits
gets
you
black. But I
though.
was walking.
Yeah.
I just ran into a friend on the street, and my hair was dry, and he was just like, "Hey, Santa." Whatever.
No, you look very slim.
Well, it wasn't. It wasn't. He was talking about the gray hair, but yeah, it does. It happens, and my family goes all white. Like my
Really?
mother's
That's
side of the
nice then.
family goes like Steve Martin. You know how his hair went white early on?
Yeah.
That's what my mother's side of the family is.
Oh.
So I didn't have that, but later
No.
now I'm just gray because I'm old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're only a couple of years older than me.
Yeah, I'm all right.
I'm 51.
It happens.
51.
Time happens. When time stops, that's the moment you worry. That's the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Time's not going to. Well, it will stop, but then we won't know about it.
Hey, thank you for mentioning the Loma Linda. And can I just tell people, if you want to follow me on Instagram, right now I have this show posted, but I'll keep it up for a little while. Are you going to keep the show up for a little while, or is this just it?
It's staying indefinitely.
It's all all recorded.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll leave it up for a couple days, and then I'll put if people follow me on Instagram at Mr. Craig Bierko, I have in my bio a link where you can check out Loma Linda and all the events. Sometimes we do events and stuff like that. There's constantly doing events there. There's all kinds of fun fundraising things, but you could check out the hospital. It's a truly special place. God forbid you should ever need it, but that's the place you want to go. Part of the reason I like working for them is I can help fund this pledge that they made, which is to never, ever turn away any child in need. And that was reason enough to stay in this business and try to get some attention so that I could, push that idea, which I think is incredible.
Yeah, that's great.
And they developed the first infant transplant heart. The Paul Simon song, The Baby with the Baboon Heart and all that stuff. That was done there. And so that was more than 20 years ago. So just there alone, they probably saved like 25,000 lives, and all over the world. I mean, it's probably incalculable, but that's all because of the work they do. And they still do cutting edge stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
An amazing place. Loma Linda. Look, join me, follow me. My Instagram page is like a party. We all have a great time. I send everybody a case of grape juice. Everybody gets a free case of grape juice.
Okay, well, you heard it here. Free case of grape juice.
He's on Twitter and Facebook too.
And Twitter.
Yeah. And sometimes Craig does will show you a link there. There used to be a link where you can go to Loma Linda link and maybe donate and help a little bit.
That's right now it's the link to this, but I usually put that in my bio. But I think the link is on the other pages.
Well, yes,
and I can send. You know what? I'll get off and I'll send you the link, and maybe you can put it up or something like that.
Yeah, I was going to say we can come back in here and add it into the description box for people to find here also. So we'll just say that the link will be down below after this.
That'd be terrific. And also, I'm on Cameo, and all of the money. I go on and on and on with Cameo. I've made 20-minute cameos. I've made cameos where the cameo stopped. I've gone to the edge, and I had to start again because I went too long. So,
you're funny.
And I'm one of the cheap guys. Like, I don't charge a lot of money, but everything I make goes there.
Yeah,
so that's another way to contribute.
There you go, guys. Listen to who's watching this. And
I'll send you all that information.
Yeah, and I know I did mention before, and I know with time and with the country opening back up again and schedules, it's busy. But if you ever do want Bonnie and I to help with the live stream to get guests on and off, obviously.
Yeah, like a fundraiser event.
To do a telethon for Loma Linda.
Yes.
I have offered my time before, and if
that Gino and I have talked about that, right?
Right. I know Gino said he's going to email you. Yeah.
What a funny human being he is.
Isn't he lovely?
God, I didn't know that he was so funny. He's really funny. Yeah.
Well, he probably thinks
So
the same
maybe
about
I'll
you.
call him tonight and surprise him.
Oh, that would be nice because I
He's
know
a sweetheart.
Yeah,
We'll
I
tell
know
him we
he's been
said
saying
hi.
that he's glad he's been posting a lot about charities and that he's glad he's woke up. And
Yes, he was
I
the
said,
person who got me involved in Twitter was Alyssa Milano.
Lisa.
We had just done something together. She suggested Twitter. I was like, I don't want to be part of that thing. And she told me why it was great. And I said, well, I guess I could do, this loan to charity. Like, that's a reason to do it. And rather than talk about my boring personal life, I use Boo, which people seem to like. And it,
right.
when I put her on, the numbers go way up when it's or my mother. But with me, it just is like nothing,
Aww.
So that's what I use that. And she's been a great advocate for people just love her. So they, it gets attention for Loma Linda.
Yeah.
I wish I could take her there, but obviously I can't. But yeah, so look me up, and she's got a page. And there's a page called the Daily Boo too.
Yes,
on Instagram and on Twitter. Great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrific.
And Alyssa introduced you to Gino, and that's how you met him.
Yes, that's right. Thanks for reminding me. She said, follow this guy and just start a conversation with him because he's all about, charity. And he's been incredibly helpful. And then he suggested that we do some sort of co-telethon thing. When I first got on Twitter, I did a telethon for, I think it was for, I can't remember what it was. It may have been for Loma Linda, but I did a telethon and just asked all my friends to send in like videotapes and stuff and made pretend they were actually there, but you can do so much that you can be as inventive as you want on these platforms. Yeah. That's why I like it.
Yeah. And it helps, it helps bring money in. And I know we had I don't remember. I know the one with the telephone, you called it in. And, yeah, I remember that one.
Clubhouse?
No, it was on
There's
Twitter,
another one.
It was the Loma Linda, but you had to call in.
Oh yes, there's a number. Yeah, there was a number. They discontinued
the donation.
That for some. I think it cost more than
it was worth.
And this way they can just get the profit. The other one they had to pay out. So this is probably better. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we'll have to talk about that down the line when with Gino. Maybe me and Gino can. Well, you decide. Obviously, it's your thing. We're just here to help if you want.
Thank you so much.
Service.
It was a pleasure to talk to you guys.
And you too, Craig. You're such
and congratulations on year 1.
Yeah, what? Well, it's season 1, but
season 1.
Yeah. Season 1 and season 2 is filmed and in edit and it will be. The first promo interview will come out on Tuesday, and then the full interview comes out on a Friday. So it starts next week with season 2.
Good.
Yeah. And now I've just got to get people for season 3. But you're going to tell people how wonderful I am, and then they're going to come on my show.
Of course. Oh, a little mind control. I like it. Subtle.
I was only joking. Well, I'm actually live and being honest, so people will probably go, look at her, how cheeky she is. But I thought
I'm hold on to that
right here in public.
You need to be a bulldozer. Don't be afraid of being a bulldozer.
I say something and then I blush about it.
Well, it doesn't read on camera, so don't worry. Blush away.
Oh, thank God. I know. It does. That's good. These white lights are helping the situation. But my air conditioning is off because it makes too much noise.
Oh.
All I need now is a hot flash and I'm going to melt.
I don't have my fan either. I'm about done in here as well.
Well, what you've each lost about 2 pounds. That's good for a day, right?
Isn't it?
True, yeah.
Get the cheekbones out. Sure.
Yeah.
Look at my cheeks.
I've got
on these live
just while sitting here. Definitely. See? You can go back to the beginning and rewatch the whole thing, and then you can watch how I've gotten thinner. And then, watch it again and click like. And
watch it in reverse. Right.
Yeah, watch it in reverse. That'd be weird.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be like, and put Benny Hill, speed it up and put Benny Hill tune, and it would be perfect.
I may do that just for fun. Put that out later.
Yes, indeed. That's what we need to do.
All right, I'll do
We
it.
Craig, instead of Craig doing this, he'll be doing this. Sorry. I'm going to stop with my Irish now because I'm live and I need to remember that I am live. Hi, I'm not really like this, but I am all the time. I'm just more quieter on Twitter.
Well, unless people are reading your tweets out loud, right? I mean,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Well, listen, guys, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
You.
Craig,
and,
it's an honor to speak to you. Yes,
well, that's silly, but thank you.
No, that'll be actually. You know what? Let's make this a regular thing. Season 2.
Okay.
We're gonna have a guest from season 1 coming on too to say hi because he's the first guest ever. Because you were the very first guest, so that's special, right?
I'm the Neil Armstrong of.
I'm gonna send you a gift. Like I'm trying to coerce people at the moment by getting people to subscribe to the channel. So I'm gonna send. We're gonna monetize.
We're doing a contest.
So we're doing a merch store. So I'm doing a contest.
Good idea.
Yeah, but I'm going to get some guests and the guests that have been on and just send them a free cup. I can send them to a PO box.
Don't send it to the guests.
Why
Make
not?
everybody buy it at your store.
It's good. They're coming out for a contest for subscribers.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to. I mentioned that anyway. I wanted to.
A little thank you thing is nice, but it's not necessary.
I know, but
But thank you, and I just wish you luck with the rest of the second season and the third season. Good for you.
Thank
Not
you.
an easy thing to do.
See, that's optimism. I like it.
Well, it's true. It's true. It's true.
Yes, I've got to start filming season 3.
Yeah.
Just got to get the people in and do that.
That's right, and it'll happen.
It will.
Just keep going. One step, one foot in front of the other.
Right. Yeah, I do that, and then sometimes I step to the side, and then step to the side.
Yeah, we all do.
It's called dancing.
It isn't whether you fall; it's how quickly you get up.
Absolutely, 100%. Falling down doesn't define a person; it's how you get back up that does. No. Yeah, who you are after. Thank you for that. Yeah. That's wisdom, Craig. You're a generous, wonderful soul.
Oh, thank you so much. Right back at you.
Thank you. I 100% agree with you. And yes, I'm just kidding.
Good for you.
But no, thank you so much. I wasn't trying to be a narcissist. I was just like,
of course not. I know. Okay, this is me. Seacrest out.
Adios.
I'll see you guys soon.
Adios. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Bless him. Okay.
Now I'm pushing the wrong button. Now I can't get out.
We've kept you here for good. Okay. So is John coming in? My phone died.
I think we're about ready to say goodnight to everybody.
Okay. Well, good night then, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, whoever's left with. Yeah. I'm dying for a drink of water, actually.
Yeah.
I'm parched.
Well, this has been great. It was fun, and we should do this again for real. Not this exact thing, but like a different sort of thing, but like this, because we already did this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for having me, Sam.
Thank you for being my producer, Bonnie. I love you very much.
Thank you for being my
sister from another mister. Craig's awesome, isn't he? Everybody's awesome. And I think everybody's gone. It's just us here. We need to.
All right, well, let's say bye to everybody, and we'll see everybody next time. And thank you, everyone who was here and watches this. Thank you for coming and watching us.
It's a Max Headroom. Do you remember in the 80s? No, you were too young. But I remember.
Me? I know Max Headroom. Are you kidding me? Bye, everybody.
Like that with the head. I can't move my head that fast. Okay, love you all. God bless, and be kind to each other, please. You're only here for a short time. Make it count. Good night.